also over there.
I was going to say, there you are. I don't know how we fix that to be better angled, but whatever.
Yeah.
I'm here. Hello.
Now we got Cody joining us.
Yes.
I think we're about to start draft.
There we go. I can sit like this. Not awkward at all, right? Like right in your shoulder? No, you're
Yeah.
good. I'm here. You can see me and hear me. What's up, y'all? Welcome. This is Nationals. This is NECC. This is our first ever Nationals appearance. And what that is every division, they take the top 16 schools. And so East Central University just so happens to be the second ranked school in League of Legends for Division 6, which is awesome for us. That was out of like 80 schools. So 80 different colleges across the country. We happen to have the second best League of Legends team, which got us a seat into our Nationals, which is what we have here. And we're playing Midway University. We have not played them, right?
No,
I don't think
we
we
haven't.
played them.
I think Brecken has confirmed that we haven't.
Yeah. Yep. So this will be really good. But essentially, this should be the top 16 schools in the country fighting it out to see who is the best for that division. And so each division will have a division champion. And we're hoping for that. And honestly, to be very honest, we are very favored to win the championship because we fell in our finals match against California State, and which was last week. That match was crazy. We underperformed in most categories, to be very fair. Mm-hmm. And so California took the win after a 5-game series. We were worth a lot of points. So the teams have been accruing points from the fall and the spring, and they earn points for their victories. They earn points for how well they do in the playoffs. But each team also gets a value, and our League of Legends team was valued at the number 1 spot, the favored spot for the league. And so because California State beat us, they were ranked 43rd in our division. They were ranked number 43. Because they beat us, it took them up to number 7. That's how many points we were worth, that it took them from 43rd to 7th place. And they were not in the national contention, but because they beat us, they suddenly get a spot. So it's kind of an interesting situation, and we will not play California State. They are on the opposite side of the bracket. I think if you go to the game bracket one there, it'll show us where we're at. So this is one half of the bracket that you see here. So we got ECU ranked right there, and then there's another side of the bracket. And some of this is random sorting. Some of this is by design, by rank.
I think this is the entire bracket because CSUDH is here.
Oh, yeah, there they are. Good. Okay, so there you go. Top 8.
So in the finals, we're likely we could rematch PVCC.
Yep.
We could play CSUDH again. And I think UAH Charger White and SVU Crimson are both new teams for us.
Yep. Should be half and half at this time. So this would be what happens over the next couple weeks for us, and we hope to take this. These are all very long matches. Just be very clear, like these might be a bit. So, which is good. That's a good thing, This is what we should expect to see. I'm double checking that bracket says best of 3. I thought this was best of 5.
No, I don't think we ever do best of 5 unless if it's a finals.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Nationals is its own little beast.
Oh.
I'll double check and make sure. We'll double check. Draft should begin any minute now. It looks like we might be starting now.
They're all situated. I think they're just waiting for their all clear on us.
Yeah, I saw it flash over like it was starting.
Yeah, sometimes it does that. I think we responded. Yep.
Cool. You want to pull the highlight back over the... Nice.
There we go.
Sweet.
This should be a Rise ban. Because their highest ranked player is their top laner, and Rise is real good. And if we can keep them off of carry picks like Rise, the better our chances are. They take the Zac away, it looks. They're targeting our flex. Pretty good. I think they're trying to get their top a good matchup as well.
And the Zac ban. Fizz?
I've seen Brecken play a game or two on Fizz, but unless if he's been grinding it recently, that's sort of surprising.
I've not seen him playing that much Fizz lately. Like maybe every once in a while. I mean, I like our Tom Kench ban there. I like that ban, but yeah, Fizz is kind of, and then Jin. You see the Jin ban.
Yep, to get Miguel off of his most comfortable.
And then you got Syndra. Oof.
Yep. We get to pick up Syndra. It's been one of Brecken's favorites. That could be Neferi jungle, but with the camp top style they're going for, I don't think so. I think it's likely Neferi mid.
And Neferi was banned?
Reworked.
Yeah, Neferi was on a ban because of the rework and was actually re-enabled today.
Oh, wow.
So today was the first day that Neferi was re-allowed. So anytime there's like a major change, there's a moratorium period of a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, of where the new thing can't be used. So that's the way that goes.
Oh, we
so
get the Nunu
We get the
through.
Nunu. Oof, Jesse's
We're
in there
getting
cheering.
comfort.
He's cheering in there, as he should be by getting Nunu. As he should be.
Yep. Jesse's Nunu is a force to be reckoned with. He's everywhere on the map. You saw him top 8 seconds ago. Well, he's already halfway to bot. You better watch out. And we pick up the Jinx. So I'd like to see us playing the fights a bit slower. Because with the Jinx, you want to give her time to rack up lethal tempo, rack up her minigun stacks for more attack speed. And the Elise jungle.
Or mid. It's very possible.
Yep.
At this stage, letting the Nunu and the Syndra through like that and banning the Fizz, Urgot makes sense, but maybe they're kind of doing something funky. Who knows?
Uh-huh.
I'm happy to see Alistar still getting lots of playtime. One of the OGs, one of the OG champs.
Yep. I think he's actually always been good and competitive.
Yeah.
Like, even when Enchanters took over, Alistar had the highest play rate for supports. Gnar?
Oh, banning the Gnar. Okay. I was like, why are they calling out Gnar? Yeah, they're banning the Gnar.
Uh-huh.
Good. Good. Well, this is looking good for us.
Janna.
Why not the Nico? So,
Jinx is really good with Enchanters. So while Nico would enable Jinx, an Enchanter would do a lot more for Jinx, I think.
So like Yumi?
Yeah, but I don't think Ali plays Yumi.
Ali plays Nico for sure. I saw her playing Milo earlier too.
Milo, yeah.
But I don't think he's kind of similar to. We'll see what they pick.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good though so far. I'm liking the draft already.
Are they picking the Varus for their ADC? That's what he tends to play in these competitive matches. Victor ADC isn't that uncommon. It looks like they're trying to handshake on the scaling.
Yeah, I'm scratching my head on that one too, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like maybe they could be doing something. This is nationals. Don't discredit it. They could be doing something wonky. We'll see.
They could have planned this. They could have played scrims with this comp.
We've got them where we want them. You know, they're playing 4D chess at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. We get the Nico pick. Kind of what I was expecting.
Yep.
What I was expecting.
And the Renekton, it looks like.
Okay. That'll be for Nathan Top for sure.
Now we have the front line for the Jinx. And we do got to be careful because from what we've seen of this team, they love sending their support and jungle top to get him ahead because he is their best player and has the best chance of carrying them.
Good to look out for.
Yep, and it's a Volibear.
Okay. So Victor's definitely bought.
Yeah.
Neferi, I don't know.
Victor bot lane is Victor Alistar, Elise jungle, Neferi mid, Volibear top.
Okay.
That's my call. If they want to do something weird with like Volibear jungle, Neferi top.
Yeah, I could see it. What an interesting setup so far.
Yep. Brecken, you're not the Ari.
There we go. I was like,
Yep, looks like it is the Neferi mid.
don't think I've seen Victor played AD carry a bit. I don't think I've seen it done consistently and successfully. So I play Blitzcrank top, all right, which is kind of a wild thing, and a lot of people don't do that, but it's fun. Just you wouldn't
Yeah.
see it in the like you're not going to see it at this level of
You
play.
see, you need to go smite Blitzcrank top so you can smite Q a minion.
I'm telling you.
Or if you go a bit of AP, you can RQ and clear a wave, and they don't expect the Q.
It's the I do it attack speed, and that way I hit a bunch of the lightning procs.
Yes.
And so I run up to somebody and I'll punch them like 3 or 4 times really fast. They'll start moving away and get hit a bunch of times. People don't expect that. They usually expect a Blitzcrank to run in, Q them to punch them up in the air, and then ult.
Mm-hmm.
That's the typical combo, but you don't. I run up there and I'll sit there and punch them 3 or 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
And then they'll get hit by a bunch of lightning damage.
So there's actually a very good item with Blitzcrank now if you're trying to use your ult passive a lot. Malignance.
Yes.
It'll proc with the passive of your ult.
Right.
So when the lightning goes off, it'll proc. It'll do lots of damage.
Yep.
It'll shred their MR.
Super good.
Mm-hmm.
That and I play for fun. I don't play.
What? Playing for fun in this economy?
Right. With these prices. With these prices, man. Well, it is getting too hot in here for me.
All right.
So I'm gonna turn the AC back on, which means it's gonna be a little loud in the background. Just letting you know, but it's for my benefit. Sorry, Andy.
We don't want anyone passing out.
Sorry, Andy. Yeah,
That's fine.
That's exactly right.
If nobody passes out, we're all good. The moment someone passes out,
and what we probably could do is lower our or change up our mic a little bit just to add a little bit of a noise suppression here. Okay, I think that got most of it. You talk, Andy. Make sure it picks you up still.
yep, I think it did.
Okay, cool. Well, hopefully that helps get some of that background noise out of there as we wait.
We can also turn the mic up a bit.
Yeah, now that's not picking up all that stuff in the background.
Yep.
Cool. Look at us. Problem solving real time. That's why you come to college, to get an education.
Uh-huh.
Well, we were talking about that today. I was in a really good meeting, and it was with, some pretty high up peoples about the culture of ECU. And the whole conversation was really about we are unique here because I'm a staff member. There's only so many students who I'm around, right?
Yeah.
And you guys have me as a point of contact. So like as a staff member, I get to have a good relationship with you as a student, with these guys. I get to know you. I get to like help you. Whereas other campuses, you're in a class with 100 people.
Yeah.
That professor or that staff person can't really get to know everybody. And so we get to really build really, really strong connections with our students and really good relationships with them, which ends up benefiting them in the longer run than just having a good class. Because a lot of times the students are coming back and they're saying, it's probably the same with most people, is you'll say, oh, I remember this person who was there at this time, or they taught me this thing. It's people come for a person more than they will a thing. And I think that's what we offer, is we have that built into our system. And that's very advantageous for the students. Mm-hmm. So it was a really good discussion about that, about the culture and how us giving care to the students is really important, which I really like that. Oh, I love this Volibear skin. We've got to get that. Like, how do we not have that? I mean, it's almost a tiger. Like,
yeah.
Like, it looks almost.
I think Coda had it.
Okay.
Your cursor's really big.
You can change whatever you like on this, my friend.
Alright. There's one or two things I'd want to change. There's a...
The objective timers?
I think it's X. Yeah, X is what I was looking for. X also moves the camera down.
I have my keybind set. Just do restore defaults because I have my keybind set.
All right.
I play with WASD to move the camera.
Oh.
It's a different style of playing League that some people really like.
Yeah.
I've been trying it out for a little while to see if I can get good at it.
And then.
You need N, I think, is the objective. Yeah, objective timers.
Yep. And I'm gonna balloon up the.
Yeah, turn that cursor down. Sorry, y'all. I'm an old man, so when I'm playing, it's. So I played League of Legends when it first came out. Like from day one, this account I'm on was from the beginning. So it's like I played this game in college as a student here, so it's like really fun for me to see you guys being able to use this as a competition sport when we were just
Yeah.
doing it in our dorms for fun, and now it's like actually a legitimate thing. So it's really, for me, League of Legends is the one I like the best. It's the one I enjoy the most. I know the most about it. I've played it the most. But I'm a strategy gamer myself. Like I play real-time strategy game. That's what I play primarily. Not a whole lot happening early on. There wasn't really a gank. Kind of we just set up and spread out. So there really wasn't like a coordinated.
Yeah. I wonder why Brecken didn't take Airy in this matchup. He should be able to proc it easily, giving him a lot more poke and a lot more damage.
The Fury, interesting choice for mid. After the rework, I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, it hasn't been that. I guess 2 weeks is, enough time to figure that kind of stuff out, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'd just be a little hesitant if it was me. At this level of competition, you want to give it your all and make sure that you're doing, playing the best you can. And if they felt,
Looks like Neferi actually is going
and
to
then
die here to the Nunu
right,
gank.
Jesse comes.
Has
and
the flash, but Jesse still has the E. Mistimes the W, still gets rooted up. The ignite gets used.
Yeah.
Elise flashes in, goes in,
Ooh, Bracken,
doesn't
nice.
go in human form, and doesn't get the cocoon off.
Wow, a couple flash trades there to help kind of secure each person's safety out of there. It's very interesting. I thought it was very aggressive from that Elise play, and then you see Elise over here actually coming into our jungle,
Yep,
looking for Nunu.
they had gotten the ward. Jesse
Nice.
senses something's up. He does. He gets the wolf with the smite. He does get the healing off. And I don't think anything can happen. He's
No.
struggling to hit the spiders, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Their top laner's coming down, but...
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta get out of here. Volbear
Jesse does
flashes.
flash.
Jesse flashes. The
Oh,
repel
first
is
blood.
not enough.
Man, first blood goes to Midway University.
Brecken did base TP. He didn't have enough for a meaningful item.
His blue got stolen now at this point, so that's also not good.
Uh-huh. And the kill went over to the Elise, so she may have more impact on the map.
Yeah. Well, and now she's set up for a mid gank because she has pressure because Jesse just went down, so she can leverage that.
Yeah. I wonder if Syndra can pick up the dogs with her W.
I don't know. It's a good question.
It seemed very annoying for the Neferi if he could.
Just taking a look at the bottom. Jinx, our Jinx is up a little bit on kill score. Gold is a little bit a little up on Midway. Looks like Brecken's gonna fall here.
Nathan may be able to look for something. Volbear goes for a trade under tower, but a good flash by Nathan. Dodges the E, gets out of Volbear's attack range, and punishes his lack of flash from the play made on Jesse earlier.
Ay, ay, ay. A little bit of a topsy-turvy side, 1-2. One killed it for ECU, 2 for Midway. Which has given them a bit of a gold advantage.
Mm-hmm. This Neferi might have kill pressure coming up here real soon. Because this wave or the next wave, they'll both tick over to level 6. And he does have the Ignite coming back up. So if Brecken doesn't respect that enough... Oh, but it looks like they weren't respecting Jesse, and Jesse learned from the last time they played against an Alistar, and he doesn't give the Alistar any opportunity to headbutt him into the tower. I remember last time they played Alistar, I kept mentioning it. He'd go for a gank like that, and then he'd get punted into the tower, and it's like, now we gotta run.
Yep. That's classic Alistar. Classic.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're getting the grubs and we are gonna trade that for the dragon. Which, stacking dragons is nice for our scaling team. Especially because Midway doesn't have the most side lane pressure.
That was a really good trade from Nathan right there.
Mm-hmm.
Got about half that Volleybar's health in one trade just because he overextended it a little bit. We get the dragon, they get the void grubs. Pretty standard.
Both sides are invading the opposing jungle, so
yeah.
Jesse's likely calling that out, so Nathan has to be very careful.
Yep, and you see that because Nathan's starting to move a little bit just to go check.
And he will have spotted her out.
This is why I don't like the directed camera.
Yeah.
But it looks like doesn't steal the blue buff.
Yeah, his blue wasn't up.
It hasn't spawned yet. Got another minute.
Yep. Which was the difference. So I actually think that trade of sides is better for ECU.
Yes, I agree.
Ooh, Neferi calling out that Brecken's gonna use Scatter the Weak and dodges it.
Yeah, I agree with that. ECU got ahead on that jungle invade.
Oh, nice stun by Elise, but Neferi had disengaged.
And Jesse is coming in hot. Oh, again, the Neferi using that jump. Using that, I guess it's like, is it a jump or, I guess...
It's like it's an invulnerability, sort of like Zaya's ult.
Yeah.
Which, that's sort of what annoys me with the newer champion designs. They give something that was like a key part of a champion's ult, or an ability with a high cooldown, and they say, yeah, we're gonna put this on a lower cooldown.
Jess is coming in bottom, trying to get this Victor.
Flash.
Victor uses flash.
We don't try and follow up, which is good, because Elise and Alistar are in the area.
Yeah. Which we have some good vision here, so we can see some of this.
Neferi is hovering down, but we have wards and we have Jesse.
And Neferi's seen now, so they know she's there. Elise is now caving in as well.
There we go.
So this is what our team sees right now.
So Brecken should be able to get a plate mid, because this is a cannon wave.
Right. And yeah, if Neferi is moving now, Brecken sees Neferi coming. Neferi does dodge again. Doing a really good job of just dodging all those abilities.
Yeah. Elise is looking for something on Brecken, but Brecken's gonna not get the recall off in time. Flashes away, ults, and it looks like Elise goes down.
Does end up taking
flash for flash, and we get a shutdown.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That ended up being better in our favor. Oh, and Jesse
forcing the Neferi flash.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything for the Neferi.
Oh, Neferi does get the kill.
Yeah,
takes a couple tower shots.
Oh, Nathan doesn't have. He has the W.
Does get it
and
on.
Volibear goes down.
Man, that was a lot of action that just happened there.
Yeah.
And again, ECU starting to climb back into this. You know, definitely a very early game. Seen some really good plays from Midway, so I'm excited to see that. I want to see that. Neferi? Oh man, almost gets
Neferi had the W. That's. I just don't like it. I started getting upset when Gwen had a minis and Zhao R
Oh yeah, yep.
on 1/5 the cooldown.
I mean, that's is the evolution of the game. It's like they got to find new ways to be innovative and find new things to do, and so it's just one of those things.
Yeah. And eventually there's just not enough new you can have.
Right.
Like Pokemon, sure there's 1025 Pokemon, but some of the new ones are you're like, this looks exactly like the old one. And the answer is yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Brecken
Brecken
can
does
pick up the
Yep.
dog.
Yep.
Oh, Miguel getting engaged on. Ali might need to ult to disengage.
Flash is used by Miguel to get out of there.
Yep, we may be trying to go for something on these Void Grubs. Alistar hits all 3 of the people bot. Victor has no flash, so he can't follow.
Definitely have a fight breaking out here at Void
Oh,
Grubs.
Neferi gets interrupted.
Good.
Oh,
Good ult from Neferi.
yeah.
But Brecken's able to use the Q again to kill Neferi last second. Looks
And
like
it
Nathan
looks
does
like
get out of there.
We got the last grub, so they don't get the stacks. Brecken's gonna go down, but can we trade it back onto the Elise? We do. Volibear gets a kill, and now...
I don't know if Volibear should, chase after. I was going to say should chase after Jesse, but Jesse, again, Nunu.
Yep. He has to be careful, though, because Nunu's healing. I mean, Volibear's healing us a lot.
Yeah, and that
Forced the
shield
flash.
forced to use the flash there. Should have just disengaged, but that's kind of one of those, like, you got to test to see how far they are, how well they're doing. What do you call that? Like,
Limit testing.
limit testing, yeah. Shoulder checking. I don't know what you call that.
Looks like we are getting to our first items, but there actually was... We did turn a play bot. Looked like they were overzealous, and even though we were super low, looks like the Victor took the tower aggro and just got locked up and ulted.
Yeah, the Nico ult, and then, yep, good. Good stuff.
Yep.
Tied game now, 6-6. Gold is literally within 100, within 100 gold. So we're an even ball game.
Yep. We should be fine with giving this dragon if they're gonna go for it. They're gonna lose stuff mid. We have our bot lane's ults are coming back up. We do not have some. The summoners are even, but I think it's just too late. Yep.
Yeah.
As Jesse sees, oh, they're on it, which he knew beforehand, but he sees the HP and it's gone.
This
Good
top
empowered
fight,
W.
yeah, this top fight is very interesting. Jesse's just running down the lane, trying to get this Neferi off.
I think he's actually trying to get Prio to go into the top side, which is what Midway is pinging. This Victor actually may just be dead. Alistar wasn't in the way to block the Jinxar. Or that could be a... No, we should have Jinxar up.
I thought they used it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
both
sure.
have very short cooldowns nowadays.
Oh, there it was.
Alistar barely blocks in time.
Yep, there it goes.
But...
They're sticking around.
Yep. Does Brecken have Scatter the Weak? Looks like he doesn't, but he dodges the Q2, but
Eek.
goes down anyways. Oh, good dodge on the E. Dodge the damage, and Jesse is coming. He'll
Elise is
blast
there.
cone away into Elise. Pop is R for the HP.
Here comes Jesse, full force. Oh, ends
The
up killing.
shield from Eclipse, they end up turning the fight. Elise flashes, but
Huge.
she can't get out.
Huge for ECU at that top lane.
What Elise tried doing is she tried flashing and then using her E to get away onto a minion. But unfortunately, she flashed,
And that is a tilt play,
but
okay?
didn't get away.
And we have Brecken coming in here hot, right at
Going
bottom.
on the Alistar, but he has the Unbreakable Will.
No, using an Alistar like that, not enough damage for sure.
Yeah.
Jesse coming in to help mid here.
He knows the Neferi doesn't have W, but maybe he's stalling for Brecken. Brecken could actually get a Q flash E. Q flash
Oh,
me,
good
but
try.
Neferi flashes in response.
Yeah, saw that coming. That was kind of one of those plays you see coming from a mile away.
Especially with the wards that they
Yeah.
have in the river.
Yeah, they could see that whole play.
Now, we know the Elise is in the area, which is why Brecken smartly backs off.
Yeah. So slowly crawling back into this game, ECU gotten a couple kills, gotten some better priority on the lanes. Nathan and Jesse had a great play top just a minute ago that really helped get us back in this fully. And I'm saying things like that's a tilting play because if that should have gone in Midway's favor, but
Yeah,
we outplayed them.
If you experience that play and you're not upset or mad, props to you.
Right. But I could see them pinging.
Yep.
Oh,
This Elise,
nice. Huge damage from.
if she has the reaction time. I forget. Brecken just ulted.
Yeah. Oh, here comes the.
Boom! Volibear got nuked for 150 HP. It's so over for him. Oh,
Ooh, Brecken, okay.
and the Fury doesn't dodge it this time, but now he has to be careful with no scatter the weak if the Fury gets on top.
And we're on Rift Herald right now. If it's going to be kind of a risk. Okay, we get the Rift Herald. Jesse takes it. Jesse immediately turns to go mid. Brecken, does ult, but then the Fury uses the dang
W, yeah.
gets that out of there. It's like a dodge that you just can do nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the cooldown on that W?
I think it's like 20 seconds. 17.
17.
That's rank 1 with not much ability haste.
That's crazy.
Yep.
To have just an ability dodge like that is kind of wild.
Yep. That's just what's getting me with newer champion designs. They put stuff that used to be premium, and they're like, ah, yes, you can have it for free.
Yeah. Again, this top fight is just really fun to watch. Just really fun to watch. Those two guys are both really good. Nathan's really good. This guy who's playing
collapsing on mid, but we do have Ali coming in.
Yeah, Ali does come in. That she does end up.
She has
herself.
the R.
She does use it.
Wow, that's gunned up
goodness.
everybody.
And the Jinx ult.
Jinx
my god. We got to clean this up though. Can we finish this off?
Oh no, Ali needed to go in with her W, but
yeah, that's okay.
She thought it was dead to the ignite.
That's a 1-1. We won that fight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Heavily won that fight. And now Brecken should sit mid, be able to push and kill the first tower. I think he should get the first tower of the game with that. Hopefully. We'll see.
I actually think towers are tankier now. And he's out of mana, so he just wants to respect.
Yeah.
But I think ever since Void Grubs were added, they made towers take less damage normally to incentivize Void Grubs. Or it could just be my internal clock being off.
You could just be going crazy, is what you're saying? I could be going mad.
But
off to a good start though. You know, and as a competitor, this is what you want to see. You don't want to see a total slaughter. You want to see a good fight. And that's what we have tonight, folks.
Mm-hmm. Looks like they're trying to set something up bot, but Brecken's definitely called the Neferi missing, and they know that Dragon's up, so they'd want to position around it.
And Nico just used her clone, and Elise shot a web at it, so now they probably know Elise is down there too. Bunch of them are going mid.
Yep, we're trying to break the mid-tier one for priority.
Yep, so we dropped the Rift Herald.
Just gonna let it charge, and one more auto?
Oh, close.
Tried going for the swipe attack. Ooh. This is the short window he has to punish Neferi, but because Neferi's teamers around, there's not much that can be done. Our bot lane is rotating up. I think Ali is a part of the minion wave.
Is she? Oh, Neferi immediately ults onto Jinx. We turn around.
Yep, she was part of the minion wave, and she keeps timing her ult so well.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Nathan again. Oh, he W'd a minion.
Oh, here comes here. Yeah, I was gonna say he should be able to get that. Yeah, that's not good. That's okay.
Yeah.
Ali though, with that sneak, she was a minion. They didn't see she was there.
I thought I saw her clone run mid, and then I counted 4 minions. I'm like, something ain't right here. Jesse ulting to buy time, and it fades out the Victor ult, and he's not gonna die. He just needs a jungle camp, and then he's gonna be back to full HP within 3 Qs.
ECU gets the first tower kill, killing out the mid tower, but then Midway gets the top tower. Volibear is now going back, so...
This Victor... Brecken doesn't have the ult to execute, so he's not dead just yet. We do ping that they're likely on the dragon, but... Unless if we... Yeah, we can't contest, because Miguel went top. The Fury with the Edge of Night to stop the poke, but he has to flash out, because he just took everything to the face.
Now, they're sitting on dragon right now, so they should probably get this dragon. I don't believe we'll contest that one, but which is okay.
Looks like people are coming up upon their second items. Brecken's about to finish Death Cap. He just needs 500 more gold.
You see bottom and top are rotated now, so Nathan is now on bottom with the Volibear.
Brecken's now top with the Syndra, or with the Neferi. And then the ADCs are just gonna chillax mid and farm up so they can be at any... So they can quickly go to any fight that breaks out. And Fury did use the W, so Brecken shouldn't have his E. Oh, dodges the Volibear E, which is the bulk of his damage.
Definitely, this fight is definitely going... the Volibear fight is now going... Or Volibear Nathan fight is now going towards Midway, so... Volibear is definitely catching back up and doing much better. Which I believe you said was their best player, right? Was their top laner.
But their ADC and mid have been playing very well. Looks like we are... Oh...
They see this now, so we'll see.
Yeah, but they were actually...
Midway done that.
Oh no, the Alistar! He's like, oh, you want to get to my Victor? Sure, I guess so.
He pushed him right into him, like...
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Jesse mind controlling him is what it must have been.
I guess so.
Good dodge on the E. That's a bulk of Volibear's damage gone, but now he has a lot...
Oh,
Does his E not have a cooldown, or...?
It's just really fast. 10 seconds.
Didn't seem like 10 seconds to me, but if you say so. Volibear forced... They forced Volibear's TP out, which is very good. Unless... Surely they wouldn't be burning it. Their Victor's dead. We need to get back in. We need to take this fight, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. They should be on this right now. They let him get it, and they shouldn't let him do that. They should have engaged.
Oh, but the Elise is down, and the Neferi is doing the follow.
They should have immediately
They get the scaling Otacon, but they aren't getting any of the flowers. The Victor teleports in, but it's too late.
Oh, no.
It looks like we're just going to ace them. They get the Otacon, but they get none of the flowers.
Let's go, ECU.
So as long as we deny them dragons from here on out, that Otacon literally just gave us 5 kills and 2 towers.
That was an incredible... We should have pounced on that sooner.
Yes.
But that was like the best outcome you possibly could imagine. We wiped their entire team, and amazing. I mean, just super good. Nathan has been sitting bottom this whole time.
Wait, we're actually getting... We're getting 4 towers, 5 kills, and they don't get the flowers from it, which is a big part of it.
So Otacon, when it dies, that creature in the river drops a bunch of these little red flowers. You have to pick them up.
Oh, Elise. Oh, she had to repel.
Yeah, that's okay.
Good reaction time.
But if you don't get all those flowers, then it doesn't benefit. The buff doesn't fully benefit. You don't get all the benefit out of it.
Because it increases it increases the benefits from epic monsters by 25%. And so if you get 1% of the extra bonus it gives, that's not much. You get 0.25%. Looks like we are trying to siege mid. Brecken is here nearby, but I think Jesse's too far. The Alistar catches him out.
Yeah,
he's
Jesse's
ulting to
too far
buy
in.
time, and Miguel gets turned on. The Neferi doesn't have enough damage, and Jesse, I guess he's just a mastermind.
I guess so. I don't know what that play was, but 4D chess again coming out on top. What on earth? And Jesse just bought time, and then that got so Brecken could jump in and do a ton of damage. Super good.
And what might actually happen now is we might have priority for the dragon.
And again, Nathan just struggling to keep this Volibear under control.
Yes.
Fighting him under the tower, just really trying to do as much as he can. That Volibear is just doing a ton of damage to him, just keeping him basically clamped down.
So, Connor did point out why the Volibear's E is on such a low cooldown. He has Navori, which reduced anytime he auto attacks. That includes his Q and W. His E cooldown gets reduced by 12%. Ali finds this Victor.
Oh, wow. Unfortunate.
Can we get the Alistar? Once we see him flash, we gotta respect it. Because Miguel's too low. He may actually still be dead. This Neferi's ult is coming back up.
Miguel also has a shutdown bonus, so he should not be hanging around too much.
If I were Miguel, because I have no lifesteal, I'd really want to back here.
And your call was right. So now we're going to stick on dragons and fight those as the primary objective right now. And we easily take this one. ECU's now up 18-10. We have a 9,000 gold advantage right now at about 26 minutes. We see Jesse immediately jump on that Elise. Elise has to flash out of there. Nathan is able to keep up with her though. She's got to jump up in the air to escape everything, and then we still end up killing her.
Yep.
That was a lot.
Yeah, I think her original plan was to use her E, the repel, to get away from Jesse's snowball, but she just didn't expect it. Brecken,
I think
Wally was on top of him, but I guess he had Scatter the Weak to get away. He needed to flash upwards, which seems counterintuitive, but Wally's just going to disable the tower, and I think we saw Nathan do that earlier.
And but here's the thing.
Ali being a sneaky minion.
Yeah, it's okay for this to happen because I'm fine with one person on their team having a tear. It's fine. Let them have one person doing really well. If our team is coordinated, and look at Jesse coming out the back end there, just starting to do a ton of damage.
Nathan's dead.
Yeah, they got Nathan.
Yeah. We don't have sums. We don't have key cooldowns up, so it's best to just back off. And yeah, the gold lead is now just about, it is 9,000 in ECU's favor.
Yeah.
But if this Baron goes over to...
we know they're there. We just spot all of them, so we know they're at Baron.
But I don't think we have enough people to contest. Ali is being sneaky. But is Jesse getting caught out? The phase rush for the movement speed. He's trying to go back in to make sure they can't get the Baron. Because... if you know anything about Jesse and anything about his Nunu, you really can't outsmite it. But, he steps too far away, but can Miguel clean up the backside? Someone needs to stay on him to help him get the Elise. Yeah,
because if Elise drops behind, and they do end up clearing out the Elise, they end up sticking with the Victor ends up getting killed by the Nunu for sure.
No, I think...
what?
I think he predicted the flash, but, I mean, handing it over to Brecken is... just about as good as handing it over to Miguel,
and
if not better.
They get the Baron buff, but we immediately kill 2 of them. So now they're at a 3-5. They have 3 players, we have 5. We're at a huge advantage now. Looks like we're immediately just sticking on them.
Volibear, where'd your HP bar go?
Yeah, he was clearly building some health and some tank, but...
Oh, we don't get the execute off, but... this Volibear just keeps healing, gaining more HP, getting shields.
Yep.
This Alistar looks like he may be next to go, and the Neferi lost half his HP.
And now they immediately turn on the Neferi.
The Neferi gets turned on
and that's a team kill from ECU again. Now Elise just spawned, so now they have one person up right now, which is Elise, the spider lady.
And if Elise gets on Nathan or Brecken, or even Miguel, they're just dead. Miguel!
They're saying end is what they're probably saying right now. Like, they don't want this game to go any longer. ECU wants this one to be done. We get 2 more kills immediately. We stay on the tower.
Survives, but with these resets on Jinx, the towers will just melt like butter.
Towers go down, and looks like first game goes to ECU.
Yeah, Jinx got up to high attack speed. 3.14 was her attack speed when she killed the Nexus.
There we go. Nice work. Nathan stuck at the door as he cannot get back in. Great job. GG's. Nice work.
We do not have a link yet.
Nope. No.
That guy's on the wrong side.
Yeah, a little bit of shuffling here. We'll go ahead and take a couple minutes.
Yep.
Take a break. We'll be back. We'll put it on the highlights. You guys can watch that for just a second. But we will be... there we go. And let me put the score in while we're sitting here. I'll make sure we do our due diligence.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool overlay.
I agree. As long as you keep up with it.
Yeah.
We're starting the match. Good. Match results. Game 1 goes to ECU. And we'll be on to game 2. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yep. Yep. Oops. Alright, looks like we are getting into this. Alright, yeah. We're getting into the draft. We have the same Rise band. They have the same Zac band. We have the same Poppy band. They have the same Fizz band. Looks like we both thought about the band phases, the first band phases of our draft. Which is really good because I don't think we've seen many opponents who have actually thought out, made a plan, because yeah, they're sticking with the same bands. They're like, these are what we don't want to see, and we're not gonna let you have it. We get the Syndra again. This time the Hui. Looks like it's the Hui mid. And the Seraphine... It could be Hui Seraphine bot. That just sounds really cringe. So, please don't? I mean, it's up to you, but... Again, same draft, Syndra Nunu. So that was Brecken's first time playing against a new Neferi. And now it's harder, because the likely look Neferi's W, the invulnerability move, is on like a 20-second cooldown level 1. And that's the same length as a Syndra E. So basically, you gotta try and bait it out, and it makes the matchup a bit harder. We do get the Jinx again. We're like, okay, you want us to run our comp back? We don't mind. Miguel was popping off in some of those fights. Now we do see the Varus, which is what I expected game 1. But it looks like this time, compared to their previous games, they're going to try and babysit it more. So I think that does guarantee it's the Seraphine support and Hui mid. Again, same bands, Urgot, Gnar, Janna, Oh, we do get them to trauma ban the Nico. But Ali did have like 4 or 5 good interrupts. She'd use her ult, and right as Elise would come out of her repel, right as the Neferi would come out of their W, they'd just get stunned up by her. They do pick the Jarvan, which is generally something we'll see on the more camp-heavy side, which may be why they went safer laners, so they can try to get their top laner ahead. We do end up picking the Rakan into the Seraphine. I'm not sure how that goes, but melee into range, generally range will win early until the melees get all 3 of their abilities, which is why lane swaps were a thing, and why Riot decided to bandage fix it.
Well, I'm back, but I am so confused at what I'm looking at. This is the same lineup from the first 3. We didn't
Yep.
see a Nunu ban. They still banned the Zac. They still banned the Fizz. I don't understand the Fizz ban
Nico
still.
ban was the only only different ban.
And what do we get instead? Rakan, like, is still a great pick for Ali.
Yeah, you look here and this just stays the same between the drafts.
Is the music still on?
Oh yeah, it is. There we go.
Nice,
Back.
nice.
And they picked the Alawi. So the number one way to beat Alawi, and this works 100% of the time, just dodge to the E.
Her little tentacle grab.
Yep. It's hard. I've tried it before. It's hard. It's not necessarily the most fun, but if you dodge the E, Alawi's not doing much.
So you're a Midway University, Andy, and what do you go back to the drawing board? What do you do? Like, what exactly do you change from your game plan?
I think it was a bit weird because Neferi and Elise want to look for picks. Victor wants to front and back, and so does Alistar. And I've never really seen a Volibear in a team comp, so I think the team comp having like more of an identity, and I think this team comp does, because if you hit people in Jarvan, Seraphine R is free, Huayar is free, Varus R is free, but I'm struggling to see how this Alawi fits in. Sure, you have an easier target to land your Eon, but
Unless what we're seeing is actually comfort roles rather than the comfort, the not, instead of picking the correct champion, they're picking the one that fits their style.
yeah.
So notice Volibear and Alawi are 2 brawling type characters that have a dive in and do all this stuff. J4 is, and Victor, I mean, J4 is looking for a pick too, but kind of like Neferi is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting, they're very similar styled characters.
And I think, okay, nope.
They're not ready. Midway, they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, you can kind of see the same soup being made here in this pot, and you know, when you make the same soup twice, it's probably going to taste the same. Just letting you know. I'm just letting.
No way. Oh, we're into the draft. Yay.
I've been coming up with some random quotes lately, and that's a pretty good one.
I remember one from, I think it was last semester. You said, like, I see the ingredients, I see the kitchen, but I don't see the chef.
Yeah. Yep. So good.
Oh, no. Miguel, if you pick that, the Felios pick was a bit off last time.
He beat himself up over that. I promise you, it was, yeah, that was rough. But a lesson learned. You know, it's one of those things that you get better and better every time you play. You get better and better every season. Miguel, this is his first real year with us, so you know it's fun.
And even first semester playing. I mean, he played like 2 games mid last semester, but he's not playing mid. He's on ADC.
Right, and he's playing a lot this semester, so it's been a transition in that regard too. So all is different, and but I will say this team in particular has been killing it. They've been putting in the work. They are doing what they need to do to become successful and become winners, and it's evident in their gameplay. And it's evident in their character too. So they are doing the things to build a winning team, and I am just happy to be here to watch it happen. To be honest, Jesse and Brecken have just done so good. Allie has just become a rock star in her own right.
And she's doing that while having all her senior things to wrap up.
Right, right. Exactly. Yeah, Allie's a senior, so she's graduating, and so she has all of these senior projects she has to do. She's an art major, so she has done something very remarkable. She has done for her senior project the first graphic novel ever done by a student, an ECU student, for their senior project. Ever.
Huh.
She made an entire graphic novel, drew all of it, made the story, and that was her senior project. And she was the first one to ever do it. Like, that's an incredible achievement. But not only that, Allie has this voice now, and she is definitely a much bigger presence than I think I've ever seen. So she's doing really well. Which I'm sad that she's leaving, but happy she's moving on. You know, it's I'm getting attached, Andy. That's what's happening. I'm getting attached to y'all. You guys are. It's gonna hurt my heart when you have to leave. Let's put it to you that way.
Yeah. So, if we look back and remember about the Otacon fight we had last game,
Yep.
even though it was a 4v4, we just like wiped the floor with them, lost no one, and there was a late TP in,
Yeah.
but we wiped no one. But now that they have a more team fight centric comp, because last time, like we said, their comp is like 2 people want picks, 2 people want front to back. Volibear wants to just smack people in the side lane. This time, their comp has more of an identity where I'm gonna lock people up. I'm gonna lock people up. I'm gonna lock people up. I'm gonna hit people if they're crowded. And so this lockup, if they ever get a good fight, like if they trap the Syndra, the Jinx, and the Rakan as Allie's trying to peel, we may actually just straight up lose the fight. Unless if Brecken on the Syndra has like almost one-shot 2 people, then it may be a different story, but...
Now, what happens? This J4 tries to play like the Elise and tries to use Jarvan more as a pick, more as a dive in and initiate the fight. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that that's what they're going to do. That they will use J4 to try to initiate their fights.
I think in the early game, that's fine. But as in the later game, J4 really needs to stay closer to his carries.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, no one on our team really has a dash. I mean, Rakan does, but if he's using that to get out of the cage, if he's using that to get out of Cataclysm, then she doesn't have any engage anymore.
Yeah.
And the same Aatrox's dash is very short. So early on in the game, I think it's good for J4 to go for those sort of picks. But later on, what I'd like to see is this J4 play more of the I'm gonna be a tank, I'm gonna peel sort of thing. Fun fact about Jarvan, with your flags, you can actually scout out. He has one of the safest earlies along with Shaco. Shaco has his boxes. J4, you just have your flags. So you can throw them down and you can be like, oh, are they standing in the bush?
Same thing has happened last game. We're not seeing an early invade from ECU or from Midway. They're kind of just being defensive, watching the points. So not a whole lot happening right now, which is good. Early invades are always risky, and I'm not usually one for them, but when they work out, they're great.
Yep. So, a funny thing about early invades now is with the lane swaps, if you ever get into a scuffle, you will trigger the lane swap, which is annoying because, like, both sides get it triggered and it's just no fun. I think there was a pause.
Is that what it
Because
is?
this is generally what happens when there's a pause. So,
There it
yep,
goes,
we
okay.
don't need to freak out. Later, we might see a pause. Not too sure, but
Wasn't very long for a pause.
yeah. Well, that's not like the actual pause, but generally, if a game it gets paused, it will cause the the replay client to lag.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when I streamed from home, that happened, and I'm like, uh-oh. And then it just turned out it was a pause. I'm like, phew.
Nathan's doing good, keeping this, keeping this Alawi already, trying to make sure. So Alawi, again, Coda played a lot of Alawi last semester. I mean, a ton of Alawi. And so we got to see a lot of the Alawi play, what it does. The tentacles are a big problem. You can kind of see that happening right now. Nathan has to burn his flash just to get out. He was being a little too aggressive.
What he tried doing is because he had his passive auto attack, which gives him a lot of HP, especially if he hits it on the champion. He was trying to get that off on the Alawi, but he just kept accidentally canceling it when trying to dodge. But it looks like he drank a pot or two, and now he's healed up and should be safe from the Alawi.
Well, Alawi just missed the tentacle. And
Yeah.
that's what, if Alawi gets that tentacle off, then yeah, it's a big problem for Nathan. Mid-fight happening here. Just some trading on damage in the mid. Alawi's checking where Jesse's at.
Unfortunately, he won't be able to leave the bush without being spotted. Unless if he flashes, but he's not that crazy. I know some new players who are.
Yeah, nice dash by Nathan. That was a good trade. Nathan, that was a really solid trade he just did there.
This Alawi, even though she warded it,
Oh, we got
it may be too little too late.
Yeah, because Jesse's coming straight up top. Should see a flash. Oh, no, is that another pause?
Yep. Or it could be from the same pause. Or it could just be the client lagging, but... Yeah, so what do we think's gonna happen? A, Alawi's gonna flash away.
Yeah, it's like...
B, she's gonna flash in. C, she's gonna hold her flash. D, she's gonna somehow turn it and get a quadra kill.
Right, with only 2 people there.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I like saying about Katarina, is she'll go bot 5 minutes into the game, get a quadra kill when there were only 2 people down there, and then your lane's over.
I realize we have not been paying attention to chat at all. Thanks. Shout out to those who have been in chat. Appreciate you guys. See you, Miss Mabry. See Connor in there. What's up? Zenith. How's it going? Ford
Right.
Enjoyer. I'm guessing that's Mr. Ford over there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the deal is. As Zeroy's. No, there's one more person.
Riot. We may have to close the game from Task Manager.
And reopen it.
Yeah.
See if we can fix it. Apologies, we got some technical difficulties.
No.
Yeah, you
I
have to
don't-
right click and spectate.
Oh, we can spectate.
Once
Okay.
it goes beyond the 5 minutes or whatever, we can spectate.
Well, there's been a couple times where I couldn't spectate custom games. But I guess it's because we were spectating from the beginning.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
But I'm not sure either. But I'm glad we're back.
We are back.
Looks like they did get the kill top, but Nathan did also die. Sad that we weren't able to see it. Alawi did end up flashing in, so I think it was option B or C that I had said.
Yeah, the Flash still ended up dying. Alawi is just pulling Nathan with that dang thing.
Yep,
It's tough.
but she does take a tower shot, just steps up too far to
Yeah.
guarantee she kills the soul. And Brecken getting some poke on him, and Way's like, I want to get some poke back. And Brecken with the sidestep makes sure he doesn't. Alawi has the level 6, so 1E just spells his death.
Man, good
Oh,
call.
Brecken, if he has a Q, when his Q's up, this Way's dead.
There it goes.
Even though the Q didn't hit, it still provided him with an extra ball to do damage with his R. Brecken waiting for the E to try and knock him back into tower
Oh,
range
here
and
comes
stall
Jesse,
for
too.
Jesse. This Jarvan doesn't have the flag and drag, so I think he may just be dead. Now he does, and he gets away.
That's okay though. It's one of those situations where you take it, you make chicken soup out of chicken something else.
I think you were meant to be a chef.
Me?
Yeah, you keep making all these kitchen quotes, chef quotes, or maybe you're just hungry.
Maybe that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, I don't know where those come from. Nathan's 6'2" now, so it's pretty even top. Even though this Alawi has kind of kept Nathan back at the tower, it's not the end of the world. What is not good is continuing to get hit by this dang tone.
Yeah.
That is a problem.
I think he's actually trying to bait out the ult so that Jesse could come. But now, yep, just the E. And I don't think
again.
he can survive under tower because Alawi would just walk up and ult.
Yeah. Kind of surprising.
Ooh,
Almost
this
got
time he
that.
dodges it.
Nathan is a battler. I mean, he sticks with it. He does not give up.
This
Alawi
is,
taking a ton of minion damage.
yeah, this is one of the things though about Alawi. Whenever you shove them under your tower, oh, but if she's not careful enough, she could die to the Nunu gank. Jesse's slightly outside of the bush.
Syndra's coming in too.
Yep, and Jarvan's actually was seen mid, so we know no one's here.
Jesse's incoming with the snowball, ends up missing it.
Oh, we
Syndra
missed all our
misses
important
too.
abilities as long as Syndra doesn't hit her E, which I think, I mean,
There's the
if
car.
Alawi doesn't, which it looks like she didn't, Nathan's arm may have been a bit unnecessary. We want to tab out and get that guy, or...
Oh, yeah, I get it. I'll get it from my phone.
All right.
It doesn't show to... Miss Mabry. Miss Mabry got it.
She has the quickest banhammer this side of the Mississippi.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, this Jarvan's looking for something. He has his ult, so...
Oh, he does end up using
Yep.
it. Nathan does.
Nathan realizes that Jarvan doesn't really have the damage. He's going to save the flash for the next EQ, but Jarvan doesn't wait till he has EQ.
Oof.
But he does flash, and now
Jesse.
Blaze getting a playmate on him.
Oh,
And it looks like we're going to hand the kill right over to Brecken.
this game is quickly turning a corner for Midway.
Yeah.
And the problem I'm seeing too is Miguel is up a level, so one, that's a big problem. So if it was to go Midway to come back in this, their bottom lane would have to be doing really well.
Uh-oh.
Jesse is incoming right now.
Speaking of doing well,
Huge.
Varus gets the flash away. Seraphine with the late flash and heal.
Seraphine does ult too, it looked like.
No, that
Was that
was
just
her
her double?
empowered E.
Howard E.
Yep. Nathan, you don't want to trade whenever she has the tentacle. Well, when she has your spirit. But looks like he knows his limits. He'll be fine. We do actually need to step up to help Jesse, just in case if this Jarvan sees him. And it looks like he doesn't. And Jesse's just like, I headbot once. It worked. I'm a headbot again.
Oh, second
Hey!
bot play by Jesse.
Ooh, the flash
Still.
by Ali and a great ult by Seraphine. Can we kill this Varus before he
Varus
kills the
does
Jinx?
go down.
Oh,
J-Force
the
can be a-
reset. We gotta be careful. We don't want to give him a target to ult, but he doesn't have the ult. Ali with the dashes.
Oh,
And
man.
looked like he may be trying to turn it, but he was just trying to root him and get away. He is forced to burn his flash, and Nathan's playing very smart. You see how he's standing always behind the minions? It never gives Alawi an opportunity to E, but now she can, but the fight was drawn out, and so this isn't going to be doing much.
Does end up getting the E proc though.
Yeah.
And what that does is it gives a debuff to the person if they kill that little thing that grabs with the tongue or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it spawns those little tentacles a lot, so it's like super advantage to Alawi if they get that to work out. Nice dodge. That little whip thing is what we're talking about.
Yep.
Nathan, nice damage dealt right there. To your point, Andy, as long as you can dodge that E, that grab,
Yep.
as long as you can dodge that, you're in pretty good shape.
Oh, like even here. Oh!
Oh,
Oh, wow. He turns it.
That was
Alawi
impressive.
uses flash and the ult, and Nathan has neither of them up, but he's like, I don't need them. I know you're dead here. Looks like they're making the play onto Brecken. Brecken doesn't have flash. Ali tries to go in to save him, but it's too little too late. Jesse's gonna try and get a grub as a consolation prize. Or maybe he's actually just like, you know what, y'all can't really fight us here, but it looks like they can. He doesn't have phase rush, he Qs off the grub to heal, but now he has nothing, he can't get away, his ult gets interrupted, and
Does end up
he
falling.
goes down. We hand over two pretty big shutdowns to Midway. And what I was telling them before the game is, whenever we see their support rotate up, which both supports rotated up, but I'd like to see plays made bot. And this is a play. As long as Miguel doesn't die here,
Oh,
he doesn't
he
have
does.
ult and he doesn't have
Oh.
sums.
Oof, he does end up dying. That's not a good turn of events for ECU. A couple deaths there, different sides of the map. That Varus fight shouldn't have happened, and if it did happen, it should have gone in our favor, and it did not. So
Yeah.
Jesse's starting to pick up speed though, getting his running shoes going.
Yep, he's going drifting. For the objective score, it looks like ECU is ahead for the feats of strength. And we also won the feats of warfare, which is getting 3 kills.
Well,
Ali does ping she has ult, so we can look for an engage here. But it looks like once Seraphine gets poked out by Syndra, she's just like, okay. I was just kidding.
She's like, I'm outta here.
I didn't actually want to fight the dragon. You get the joke, right? It was pretty funny.
I didn't get the joke.
No, that's what the Seraphine was like.
Oh,
She was like, I'm just kidding, I was joking.
I see. I thought you were telling a joke, Indy. Here, I was trying to understand.
Yeah.
No.
You see, one thing I say about myself is sometimes the mistake people make is taking me seriously.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You did good in that video, though. The interview that you did.
Yeah.
Take that seriously. That was really good.
Uh-huh.
You really should think about being an investigative journalist. Be really cool.
Yeah, I actually had someone,
Nice, Nathan dodging that E again.
you had showed the video to someone and they had actually come up to me whenever I was walking between classes.
Really?
Yeah, and they said, hey, you did a really good job with the video.
Awesome. Good.
I'm like,
Good.
I was trying to figure out what video, and then I'm like, oh yeah, Cody must have showed it to him.
I did. Yeah. No, I've been bragging about you. It's been really good. Solid work.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime the students have like class projects or anything, I always tell them use the esport program because we will help you look really good and we will make your project really fun.
Oh,
Oh, super
the
close.
shielding from Hui just...
Yeah.
But the thing is, Hui's actually too low, so he does have to base. Otherwise, one combo and he's dead. It looks like the Jarvan is here and was not spotted. But
Oh,
Jesse's
Jesse's
coming.
here too.
Alawi with no E, her R is just gonna do marginally less.
Oh, wow.
The EQR, apparently they had enough damage to burst the Aatrox.
Yeah, they did. They used a ton of abilities and everything right there at once, so that was a lot of damage really fast.
The score for the feats of strength are now 1-1, and ECU needs one more objective, and Midway needs 2.
A little bit of a gold advantage to Midway, about 800 gold. Even in kills, 6 and 6 right now, so been pretty even game. It's been kind of back and forth so far this round.
But the gold's actually just about evenly distributed between most roles. The advantage that top has is matched by our advantage mid, and the same is true. So,
But I'm okay with Jarvan having 3 kills and a 200 gold bounty
yes.
because he will lose that bounty at the next team fight. So I'm fine with him. Jesse's getting a little too far in here. I'm not
Jesse's
sure.
like, we have bot prio.
So-
I remember when Jesse made a questionable play last game, he got out and we turned it, but it looks like this game it's different.
Yeah, this game it did not turn out that way. Very aggressive though. Jesse was very far in. There wasn't vision in that area, so that was kind of a misstep. But you're right. Last time they did that and it worked out. So it's like you can't fault them for trying to do something that worked out last time.
And one thing we can look at in a review is why did it work out last time but not that time?
Yeah, there was something was different between the two fights.
Because last game they were actually even, if not slightly behind, and that's the same case in this game.
If you're
Looks-
ECU, got to stay locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Got to focus. Miguel has a decent advantage, it looks like. About 20-ish. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he has like 20 CS, 200 gold up.
Yeah. And a level, I think, right? No, they're both 10.
No.
They're both 10.
Yeah, Brecken's the one who has a level. But again, it's matched by the top laner.
Red team takes the Rift Herald. Jesse got killed, he had to reset.
We do have the grubs, so Miguel's going ham on the tower, but nothing can follow. He does have to be careful for this Varus R. Looks like we are trying to get prio for this dragon, and both sides should be, as this not only is the feat of strength, but it's also starting to stack dragons for soul. And if you can deny the opponent's dragons and get your own dragons, you can choose when you are fighting. It looks like this way may be caught out by Jesse. Jesse misses the snowball because he has too much speed. Way looks like he misses the R, but did he actually hit it on the right target? Miguel trying to get away. Someone needs to body block, but Malawi gets the spirit. Now Jesse's the one who needs to get away. He doesn't have flash, and he goes down to the Seraphine ult. They are trying to go a bit too far for Ali, and it looks like
Nathan's there, but I don't think he did enough damage.
Wow. Also, just the healing. And
ouch, yeah, does not do enough to kill that Alawi. Alawi's able to get away. They drop the Rift Herald. Not good for ECU. That's a tough play. Especially because now that'll actually be one tower, potentially two mid towers.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons why the fight went the way of Midway is the fact that out of both teams' Fed members, our Fed member was taking a different fight bot. This Alawi does use the TP and the flash to get the kill onto Brecken, but this J4 may just be caught out. But Jesse respects him this time, knows that his team is not occupied and can follow sooner, and just is like, okay, I got what I came for, I got my chickens, I'll back off.
And this dragon fight's important. We should be here, so we're not. I don't know if that means we're just going to go mid, try to get a tower mid.
We're trying to trade mid because while we would like to be there, it's just too hard to contest with Brecken dead. And it looks like the Varus saved his R, and if it wasn't for Jink...
and then Hui gets the long-range shot off and kills Miguel. They end up getting dragon. We do get one mid tower.
And that can help us open up the map and start walking into the side lanes. Because now we have more of a cone. Whereas it used to be, like, this was the web network. Now it's this. And so there's a lot more jungle accessible and opened up to us because of that. Looks like we are slightly behind, so just gonna speed that up while not much is happening. There we are.
Yeah, we're on a replay. You know, we're a few minutes behind.
Yep. Looks like Midway is starting Baron. A lot of their people have 2 items while we don't on ECU. Baron, my bad, I mean Otacon. So what we're actually going to do is, just like with the Dragon, we say, hey, we aren't strong enough to fight them as 4. So what we're going to do is we are going to go mid. Does the ult?
Oh, that would have been funny. Oh, that would have been so hilarious. But yeah, again, to Andy's point, we said, hey, fine, take that objective, do what you want. We're going to go ahead and take these 2 towers. We end up getting all of mid lane towers in one swing. That was huge. Really good turn of events for us.
Now the problem is, even though the cone has expanded, it also hasn't, because they can still collapse on us. The flash in by the Jarvan going on our going on Miguel, that was just a 1-for-1, and we used Jesse's flash, but I think when you're an engaged, like, committal engaged person like Jarvan, your flash is just so much more. But I think what we've seen this game is sort of what I was talking about in Champ Select in the draft, is that their team is better in team fights than it was last game. So now we're having trouble finding those team fights, so instead we need to find those picks or other ways to help pull ourselves back into the game. This Alawi here is trying to go for the demolish proc and lose some HP, but with the team here landing the E in the hole,
yeah. They immediately crashed in
Nathan's
on
just
Nathan.
dead. But now the same thing could happen now that ECU's coming down, and we really don't want to fight this Alawi. She has the Black Cleaver. She has Brecken's really the only one who does damage to her.
And what ECU needs is a good team fight. We need a good fight. A good straight-up fight will be useful for us. It seems like we're just kind of getting one-offed, which is, again, kind of similar to what's happening right now. And even though Midway has 14 kills, we have 9, so they're up by 5 kills. The gold disparity is within 1,000 gold. There's a lot of reasons why that happens, but it's still, even though we're looking a little bit behind, it's not as
Jesse's like,
significant.
my chickens.
Yeah.
See ya. That's one thing I love about Jesse. He almost always knows his limits. And so he'll be like, hey, you wanna kill me? It'll cost you 8 years and 2 summoners and 3 ults. So, you want it?
It's good stuff. It's fun to watch. I enjoy watching Jesse play Nunu for sure.
This dragon here will mark, if Midway gets it, it'll mark soul point. And so that means Midway will very easily be able to determine a fight.
Which you can see Midway, all 4 of them posturing right there in that bush. They're basically waiting for the team fight.
Yep.
So that is happening.
They're trying to play more towards mid, where we're trying to play more towards bot.
Right. And Nathan is doing a good job fighting against this Alawi top, which is great.
We got the R. We need to back out. Alawi has no E, but she has the flash again.
In.
We need to know they're there because we're playing towards bot. The only other way to play for is mid. Looks like they do get chunked out. Like I was saying earlier, if they get chunked out as Jarvan goes in, there's not much that the Jarvan does. And with Brecken's ult is on cooldown because he used it on the backline. Yep. But Miguel's starting to get resets. He's starting to get excited. This could be a wipe, but Seraphine gets a kill.
Oh,
Brecken goes down in exchange for the play.
And it's support v support. Now, top lane is just unprotected right now. We did stop the dragon play, but top is unprotected, so we probably will lose, potentially lose top tower, unless Nathan can somehow get there really fast, which he might.
And this is the point in the game where if you look at almost, like I said, almost every champion's ult, it should be, it doesn't tell us, but their ults should be on a timer where they'll basically have it up every fight. Because now with death timers being about 40 to 60 seconds, and it takes about 30 seconds to get back out to the wave, if your ult has a 90-second cooldown, by the time you're back and ready to fight, you already have your ult up. I actually figured that out because sometimes I'd have trouble. I'd be like, what? How is their ult already back up? And so I started timing it by waves, and then eventually I realized, wait, there comes a point in the game where it's just...
You should expect it all the time.
Ults up. You fight, ults up.
Enemy Dean does take this dragon.
Looks like we may get the T1 top. It won't do all that much, but it would open up and make it us have an easier time to get the Baron. And I do like these lane assignments more. I like Brecken on the Syndra matching the Alawi. Because I don't... Yeah, Alawi still has no magic resist. So we can start... Yeah,
Yeah, you
Look.
see immediately getting chunked by Syndra,
Yep,
just taking
a
a ton of
quarter of
damage.
his HP, her HP gone.
Right.
And this is what I want to see from ECU. But it looks like we are sending Nathan back down.
Well, Nathan's doing good against this Alawi now. You know, Nathan's holding this Alawi back as long as they can stay in the lane.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. Jesse trying to go for this way.
Especially now, this is when you need to dodge Oawi E, because as I hovered over it, it does 67% of their HP. So just landing that one ability is basically another way of saying you lose 67% of your HP.
Crazy. Looks like Midway is starting Baron, which is a little risky.
But we don't have Brecken there, and he doesn't have TP, so...
We also don't have any sight on it right now, so we also don't know they're doing this.
We do use a Scryer's Orb to see that they are on Baron. It looks like we're trying to engage. We have the TP from Nathan, but they have the TP. Oh,
we do steal the Baron.
Steals the Baron. We just got to be careful for this Alawi on our flank. We got to play down to get away from this Alawi before she kills all of us.
Yeah, I got to kill that J4 really quickly,
if J4 doesn't kill Brecken, we may actually be able to kill the Alawi. We just need to make sure Brecken's the one being protected, but he doesn't have ult.
Jesse
this Alawi does pick up Jesse, and Brecken, yeah, he just needs to... He needs to stay back. The mid laners are getting killed by the top laners and vice versa.
And now it's just Alawi and Nathan. I mean, this is that one fight.
Oh, Nathan, he's running away. He does get the slow, but Alawi... Oh no, Alawi's tentacles barely got the last hit needed. He needs to dash away from this, or he's going to dash over the wall. He saw a ghost.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but okay.
But actually now, because we got the Baron and we got shutdowns from that play, we now have the gold advantage.
And Nathan has the Baron buff still, so we do still have one person with the buff. Nathan should really sit in the lane, try to use those buff minions, try to push up. Preferably top lane.
Yep.
Crazy turn of events. I mean, that's... ECU's a little late to the party there, but ended up turning it around.
And like we said, and at an earlier objective, whether it was this game or last game, you don't really want to fight it when Jesse's around, especially when he's on his Nunu. Because if there's anything that outsmites Jesse, I think you'd be dreaming, or it's 20 years in the future, or there's now a bunch more people who have secure abilities like Nunu.
Now, Hui's top by himself, trying to, I don't know, defend against this Aatrox. I'm not sure what exactly the plan of that is. Brecken is down here with Alawi, which is the right play, because, again, Alawi is not much magic resistance right now. Got a fight breaking out top as well.
We do have the Baron-empowered minions, but Hui's just clearing them. Yeah, this is what I like to see. Brecken's just whittle by whittle.
Yeah. And Alawi, this is exactly what Alawi should do.
Alawi has ult. Chooses to hold it, but still, just like the tooltip said, there's a third of Brecken's HP. Brecken played it really well, but the moment he gets hit by that E is the moment he starts to lose his HP.
Right.
Looks like Baron buff should be... Yeah, Baron buff is just timing out, so we won't have it to guarantee priority for the dragon.
Yeah, because that's the next objective is coming up as dragon.
And not only that, but it's soul. And if Midway gets it, they get soul with the Otacon that boosts those neutral objectives. Alawi's just standing here trying to set up a tentacle, but she may be getting caught out. She's getting hit by the front line, but no one there but from Midway is there to follow.
Yeah, way too much damage that Alawi's just able to absorb.
Keeps healing. We have anti-heal, but in this economy, it's not doing anything. Finally, this shutdown goes to Nathan, but
1,000 gold shutdown
at that point, our backline's just blown up. We do trade one more kill over, but
yeah,
that's just rough for ECU.
Yeah, that's their four kills there too. Nathan's by himself. Did get the shutdown, so we did end up getting an extra 1,000 gold on Nathan, which is huge. But they will get the soul.
I think Brecken just picked up Oblivion Orb.
Yeah, the anti-healing. We have to have anti-healing. With this Alawi is doing way too much healing on right now.
Yep.
Too much self-healing. It's a good match.
Exciting. It's really close.
Very good match. Very weird match too. Looking at the scoreboard, 18 kills for ECU, 26 for Midway. So Midway has a lot more kills than we do. So that's a problem. But ECU's sticking with it. We're battling hard. We're keeping with it. We need to have a good team fight, get an objective, and then push into their base. We do have one of their tier one. One of their Nexus towers started, not Nexus, but the inhibitor tower started in mid.
Yep.
So it is definitely not over by any scope of the imagination.
Looks like Brecken pinging Miguel's flash saying, hey, we gotta be careful when fighting because they have their sums up. Like if we look on Midway's side, they have 3 flashes. Like I said, at this point, all the ults are up. So they can just be a lot more defensive. And it looks like Brecken may be getting caught out. But is it the Alawi who's getting caught out?
Jesse shows up.
Jesse, you need to get in front for
Nathan
Brecken to
shows
block
up
the
now.
E. The Alawi
Brecken's
are, but
trying
she's
to get
getting
out of there.
wombo comboed. Brecken can't get out of the Cataclysm because we're just too immobile. Looks
Too
like
much
this
damage from
Alawi
Alawi.
is threading us all.
Yeah, too much damage from that Alawi.
Alawi uses the R to get away. May have been better for her to go in and save Miguel, but I'm not sure if she was going to be able to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Not what you want. Definitely not what we want to see right now.
I think... I was confused as to why they're heading mid, but they just have no waves.
Yeah.
So I think the most they're going to get out of this is 2 inhibitors. I don't think the game's over, but like I said, we're at the point in the game where ults are basically always going to be up. So everyone's going to have their ult up for this fight if Midway chooses, if ECU and Midway both choose to take this fight here. The power of this Mountain Soul is really showing. They all have 400 HP that we have to get through, and they were also able to heal up a lot of the damage that was done during that fight. We should have Scryer's Bloom, so we should never be face-checking this bush. Jesse, I don't know.
Ooh, Jesse's getting caught here, yeah.
But
not
he
good.
procs Phase Rush. Jarvan goes in, but the rest of his team is just too far away to follow. And it looks like, oh, they get our Jinx and Syndra. It was looking pretty good because a lot of people on the side of Midway are low, but the Seraphian's healing and the shielding, it's just too much.
Whoop, whoop. Oh.
I think this Baron with the inhibitors open may just spell the end for ECU, unfortunately.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors down. Midway is now at the very ahead phase. We've had several bad team fights back to back. So Midway is currently just immediately killed a Baron. They're going to reset and run up mid lane. That's what they should do. Or bottom lane, probably. Bottom lane would be better choice since the tower's still there.
Yeah.
So pick up bottom lane, just run it all the way through. That would be the play.
And one key thing to note, because just from experience of playing, Baron Buff lasts 2.5 minutes, and they took it when there was 2 minutes 40 seconds left on Elder. So if they time their waves properly, they will be able to make a big push mid and rotate back to Elder and secure it for free if need be.
Requires a lot of luck. A lot of luck, a good lucky pick. Not Jesse trying to get somebody in the jungle right now, which, I mean, it's a little bit tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough position.
At this point, they're so far ahead where it's not our jungle anymore.
Right.
It's their jungle.
Yeah. You get to such a defensive point that all you can do is defend and hope to get somebody killed, kill one of their people.
Yep, looks like Jesse's was thinking about going in. Owawi is full build, but besides that, most people are getting to their 4th and starting on their 5th. Looks like Play is forced to flash out, but Owawi's on the front line, flash R's and deletes 2 of our carries. And from there, there's just not much they can do. The anti-heal, it
There's
did
an
a
ace.
lot, but it did also nothing at the same time, I feel like.
Looks like, yeah, that was definitely an ace. So that is the end of the game right there. GG's Midway takes number 2. That means we're going to number 3. Game 3 Nationals. Love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take a break again. Be back in just a few minutes for game number 3.
All right.
Here we go.
Hello. I think we are back, or should be. Looks like they said they're ready for draft. And once we're ready for draft, we're gonna go ahead and get on with it. Looks like we banned the rise, and this time, from what we've talked about, we're gonna ban different things. I think they may just stick with the Zach Fizz Gin. We banned the Alawi because that was just too much of a problem. We also decide to ban the Seraphine because if we're playing Jinx, Seraphine's just a bit too much for us to deal with. And they do go ahead and ban the Jin. This should just be a easy Syndra, unless if we want to try Aurora. But nope. Syndra's better in a lot more cases than Aurora, so at least I think so. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hop on, and yeah, they like the play. They're like, it gives him enough safety so where he can stand back and farm up just fine, and it makes it a bit harder for Brecken to get ahead. They pick the Jarvan. They're like, yep, we liked the engage he provided. And then this time we give Nathan the Urgot before they can ban it. And looks like we are picking away the Caitlyn. The reason why we do that is Jesse has too many picks. And since they've really only banned half a pick of his, they can't take the rest away. They do play the Poppy. When Poppy gets on the Caitlyn cannot EOA. And Urgot's going to have a bit of trouble using his E while in melee range of the Poppy. They banned the Lilia because we still got our jungle to pick and not our top. Are we going to see? Yep, we're seeing the Gnar ban. We're seeing a Nico ban. They really don't like our Nico, and looks like we're taking out the Varus. Looks like we're seeing the return of the Cody.
That is the Cody. What we got going? We got a ban on a Gnar this time? What is going on here?
Yeah, we realized against CSUDH that Gnar is just too much of a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, dogging my Gnar. I love Gnar. He's my favorite.
No, that's a good thing. He's too much of a problem. Gnar's just too good.
Good. Good. Let him be good.
They picked the Vayne, we picked the Caitlyn Lux. Very good. Lux's E, I think, almost guarantees that a Caitlyn will be able to follow up with the trap, but also they just have so much range.
Ivern here is interesting as well.
Wukong top. I love Wukong top. One thing that makes Wukong top viable is his passive gives him stacks of armor. And so if he can take a longer, more extended fight with you, not only will he get armor, but he'll also get increased HP regeneration. I think it's 2% max HP every 5 seconds, which isn't a lot when like at face value, but it can be the game changer, especially in those early game fights. Where not only does the extra armor he's getting matter, but the extra healing. If it's 10 seconds, he could maybe get 4% of his max HP, which may just make an auto that would have normally killed not kill. And it looks like they are sending the Wukong top lane, which is what we expected. We do blind pick because it's a lot faster than tournament or draft. But I think I'm not sure if you can see what they're playing, like where they're sending people in the last 10 seconds. But something tricky you might be able to do is just be like, oh, haha, it's Vayne mid, Vayne top, Wukong mid, Wei ADC. And it could just mess people up. But that is not going to be the case. I do not want to see a Wukong mid into a Syndra. I would cry. And I wonder if the Wukong will actually use his S key. Because if you press S key as Wukong, it almost looks as if you used your W. And I actually had a play once where I did just that. And it looked like to the opponent, even though I didn't have my W up, the opponent thought I did and thought I used it. And then I miraculously ended up killing him while on 200 HP the entire fight. It was hilarious for me. I think this game we will have more lockdown for the Jarvan. We do have a more mobility in the Caitlyn and the Ivern. If he ever lands a Q on someone outside of the Cataclysm, the entire team can just say, hey, I think I'm gonna go there. You want to know a fun fact about Ivern?
What's a fun fact about the tree dude?
I knew something about him that Jesse didn't know.
Uh-oh.
So back in the day when Ivern first came out, believe it or not, he was actually melee. Ivern was melee, but as soon as he stepped into a bush, he became ranged. And so I had said that once last semester during a practice, and they're like, what? No, because for the longest time now, Ivern has just been straight up ranged. And we looked it up, and sure it was on the changelog. Ivern changed attack range. Now counted as a ranged champion.
Of course, now he gets a bonus in the bushes. He gives an increased damage.
He used to still get that bonus, but now the bonus also applies to champions. And what I just remembered is Ivern Caitlyn is actually really good because Caitlyn charges her headshot twice as fast in bushes.
It counts as a bush when Ivern drops his, so it actually works out in her favor.
And so rather than I think it's normally every 7th shot because it takes 6 to charge up, 1 to fire. It's now every 4 shots he'll be doing double damage with that Caitlyn. Which could very well be the difference breaker in a fight. Difference breaker, difference maker.
Either one.
Potato, potato.
No, I've got, I leave tomorrow morning at 7 for a recruiting event in Oklahoma City. Washington High School does a very big, they call it the Warriors Pathway, where they invite colleges and business professionals to come talk to their students about career pathways in college. So I'll be there tomorrow talking all day to 6 different sessions of students, spreading the news about East Central University and ECU Tiger Esports and what we're all about.
Nice.
So I'll be gone very early in the morning, and you will not see me tomorrow. Maybe you will. I don't know. I'll be back for like a second. Drop my stuff off and go home. I was expecting tonight to be a best of 5, so I was like, I was set to be here till midnight.
Till midnight.
But now I'm actually, I guess, thankful.
Like 6 hours of sleep. 5 hours.
And I'm one of the I have to unwind when I get home from work. Like I can't just open the door and go right to bed. Like I have to take some time to relax and unwind my mind, get ready for bed. I can't just go right into it.
Looks like Miguel's trying to. Looks like he pinged for something.
He's trying to go for the forward right bush.
I actually think though that if they play far enough away from the wall, here Jarvan. Yeah, he uses his flag to try and get vision, but I was just outside of it. I like how they're like, yeah, watch the play. Stare deeply into his soul.
Deep into the abyss.
Yep. we do have control over this bush, and if we can get a big trade onto Poppy, that'll be amazing for us. Because Poppy is, while less traditional, is an engaged support, and when the engaged support can't engage, that means it's just free reign to hit the ADC. I would know that because there's been quite a few times where I'm the engaged support getting poked out, but this time maybe we can.
Oh, and they see it now. Yep.
Yep, they ward it. We have to pause at 9 for medical reasons. Good FYI.
Probably one of our players got to take medication or something like that.
Yep.
I mean, and we've had that. We've had technical pauses for somebody needing to pray during a particular religious thing. We've had medical things. We've all kinds of stuff. It's kind of, I guess, one of the advantages of esports. Again, I try to always point out these weird advantages we have, and that's one where we could pause the game. You'll see it happen at some point. It'll pause for just a second, and then we'll actually get right back to it. So it's kind of an interesting. You couldn't walk out on the field and pause the whole football game.
Yeah, it's like,
Mid-stride.
guys, we need to take a 5-minute break.
Right.
No, they're like, no, we're gonna have to charge you a delay of game foul, and you're gonna have to use a timeout.
Yeah, and same thing with injury, right? Like when a player gets injured in a football game, I hate to say that teams will use that to their advantage to get an extra timeout, but it's a thing. Like we instead with esports, we build that into the system, so it's not like, we're not trying to gain an advantage from doing that.
Yeah.
It's an available thing if we need it.
Looks like there's heavy trading going on top, heavy trading going on mid.
Bottom is pushed up. Got a lot of priority on the bottom lane.
But also, we already are a wave up, and Miguel almost had perfect CS for... He only missed one because they changed when cannon minions spawn. But he almost had perfect CS on those first 3 waves.
Nathan's having a bit of time against this Wukong. He's trying to bait out the Wukong to use his flash or to use his dodge a little bit to get him to get hit by a tower, but he's just slowly getting whittled down.
Whittle by whittle.
Whittle by whittle, yes.
Yep. And it's... Oh no, Nathan. You need to fully commit to the recall, teleport back. You'll be too healthy, and they will not be able to dive you. It does suck because now with teleport taking so long, he will miss a couple minions, but it's worth missing minions and dying. And it looks like we use our range, we get almost the kill.
Almost get the kill. Jesse sees it. He goes, I might stick around for just a second, see if I can clean that up. Bracken overextends a little bit, does end up getting the mid, kills the way. I don't know if they can get away.
Vayne flashed, and so did Jesse. And I think, because we have bot prio, and Jesse was so deep, we're actually going to turn this.
Yeah, especially because now you have Ali here, you have Jesse here as well.
Did you want to move anytime within the next 3 to 7 business days? Because
business days, that's funny.
Yeah, you'd have to let us know.
Yeah, send in a written request to get some movement going.
Yeah, you have to send it in by mail as well, so...
That's funny.
Nathan actually, because how the wave was set up, he actually now has the XP advantage. And now with this level, he wasn't able to get much done, and this Wukong is just battering him. This Wukong's trading pattern is, I'm gonna go in quick, but it's also hard because if he immediately W's, Nathan doesn't want to use his E. Because not only is that a lot of damage missing, it's also a big shield that's likely just put to waste.
As you just called out there, he missed the little, I guess E. I'm not sure if that's his E or his Q.
That was his Q.
His Q, yeah.
Yeah, you'll know if it's his E if he has a shield.
Well, he's trading better with this Wukong. He just has to hit him a couple more of those, hit a couple more of those Qs and not get hit so much. I mean, Wukong's been able to dive on him pretty regularly, so
yeah,
he's got to take some time to build some space up.
So I'm not sure whether it's just we're using our range and poke to our advantage, or if this Vayne just isn't comfortable. But the CS difference is double.
I've noticed this Vayne is playing way more defensive this round. Like, as you can see, very much more out trying to stay out of range.
Yeah.
Which is, to your point, I think that's just the range game, and we're winning that. As you can see, we're keeping this wave stalled, and the Vayne is not getting any closer. Just kind of sitting in that bush, which should give Miguel some easy chip shots.
And I'm not sure if you were ever like this, but I know because I was younger whenever I first started playing, I always remembered Caitlyn as the person who has the longest range.
Yeah.
625 attack range. And I think turrets are like 750.
Does Tristana get to 650?
Yeah.
I
Or
think
625, I think.
She either matches or she gets a little bit more.
Yeah.
In the end.
But that's when Tristana gets level 18.
Yeah. All right, here's that technical pause.
Also, player can take medicine. And there are other esports games that have pauses. And unfortunately, one thing you can't see in the League of Legends side of like solo duo queue, you can't see pauses there. But in games like StarCraft and StarCraft 2, you can. And from my experience in playing those games, if you need a pause and you ask the people, even if it's in a ranked match, even if it's something very urgent, they're very likely to wait at least 5 minutes, which is really nice.
Yep. Well, and that's like we check to make sure they're ready to unpause.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a very interesting system. It's very different than the other traditional sports. So it's like, and we maybe just be experiencing a glitch here from that pause.
Yeah. You know what? I think the Dragon's actually going to get a triple kill here.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it's going to turn and just blast him?
He's going to flash to right there and hit all three of them, and they're going to explode. Now, Nathan, I was hoping he could do something with the phase rush, but he opts to flash out, which is a lot safer and guarantees nothing is to follow. He does get out Wukong's ult, and unfortunately for me, the Dragon did not flash it and get a triple kill.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Dragon's ultimate wasn't quite ready yet, so
Yeah.
didn't quite get the kill secure. Kind of a stale, not really a stale game, just a slower paced game at the beginning. We're still within 10 minutes, so still not too crazy. Bottom lane doesn't hit. Oh, nice.
Oh no!
That's-
Wait, but Poppy calls the E timing.
Yeah, that's what you called that though. You said that's exactly what they're gonna hang around
Yep.
for and wait. And then Nathan ends up getting caught out too. That's
Yep.
2 kills. Quick kills go to
Without the
midway.
flash, the phase rush can't get you out of a cage.
Jesse does show up bottom.
Ooh, but the
man.
hail of blades, the E into the wall. Unfortunately, Ali misses her spells,
Oh,
and that
that's-
spells the demise for Jesse.
Yeah, definitely. Not good, not good.
Brecken does get a kill here.
Yes, he does. Nice job.
Unlike last game where the shielding was enough, this time it wasn't.
Two to three, still early in the game.
Looks like we may be able to go on this Jarvan.
Oh, we see the
He
Jarvan
doesn't
back
see
in.
us. Unfortunately, his flag and drag is enough, but Jesse with the flash to
flashes.
follow, forcing out the Jarvan's flag. And because Jesse more wants to sit back and stay safe, I think his flash is less important than the Jarvan's, because the Jarvan wants to go in and engage whenever you don't have that dash. But Ali this time lands the abilities, and yeah, Vayne, if you want that HP bar back, you're gonna have to mail us another transcript. And it may take 3 to 5 business days.
You're
so.
calling me out for the dang, kitchen jokes and stuff, and you've got it going on with the post office apparently.
Yeah.
Jesse, I mean Nathan immediately
I
grabs
struck
that.
a deal with them.
I guess so. You're getting kickbacks from the postal service.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Poppy doesn't have the flash, but the movement speed from the W is enough to get her in range.
Yeah.
And looks like this Jarvan's trying to get in range for an ult, but Ali doesn't burn anything but gets away.
Tough, quick 2 deaths from Miguel. Is that 2 for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0-2 for him. Their Vayne is 2-0, so not good. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see their AD carry get a couple early kills like that.
Hmm. But if you look at it, surprisingly, the gold is actually straight up even.
Right, right.
Oh, and she does have the flash, and the Q barely misses, but Jessie with the Daisy, the slow, she's
There we
just
go.
dead, and the shutdown goes over to Brecken, which is exactly what you don't want to see. Midway is rotating over. We do have Brecken's ult.
Ooh,
Jessie needs
Jessie
to
gets
wait for
caught out.
Daisy to go in front, and ooh, Brecken misses almost everything. He needs one more Q for the ult to kill.
He flashes
He
forward.
flashes, but he
Oh, but
wasn't
doesn't
in
end up
range
hitting.
of the ult. Unfortunate for Brecken and ECU. Oh, flips him into the tower range for a nice little trade. Which, as soon as his ult comes back up,
He'll be
he
able to kill
lands
again,
a
yeah.
single E, and boom, dead.
Miguel again just continues to get bullied by this Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
Uses Ignite. I mean, man, hits him with everything.
Looks like Wukong wants to back while Jarvan may be pressuring, positioning for the grubs. Jesse getting caught out. He doesn't have Daisy and Huea's first move, so we have to concede, especially without the prio on top.
Yeah, without support on that, you're not gonna do anything but stall and potentially die.
Yep. Brecken still with his ult. Could look for a kill on the Jarvan. The problem is, unlike the first grubs, the dragon hasn't spawned yet, so we cannot trade back. Although, depending on how far back this Vayne goes, they may just straight up be dead. Jesse waits instead of chasing, and it looks like we're gonna position for the dragon. Now, Brecken with the good toggle by the J4, but one more Q, and I think this J4 is dead.
Does not
Unfortunately, he
die.
has the shield. If Brecken either landed that Q, or, yeah, I think he just needed to land the Q, and that would have been a kill, but it's fine. With the Jarvan pushed out, there's no way they can contest the dragon. And that means ECU gets their second dragon of this match, which means we could see a soul. I think they should get the second dragon. But we'll probably see a soul maybe at no later than 30 minutes with the way this game's going. They were just waiting for Brecken to get prio, which is smart because what happened last game is we'd take fights a bit too quickly. And this time instead we're saying, you know what? We're going to wait, we're going to slow it down, and we're going to get things when they come to us.
ECU does play that. We play the slow game pretty well. I noticed that we make a lot of mistakes when it gets really fast, which
Yep.
is pretty typical, but we definitely play that slow game very well. And my favorite is watching our disengagement plays. That's got to be one of the highlights for our whole program is watching that.
Oh, the flash?
Gets
Yeah,
the
this
ultimate.
Poppy, I see why we banned it, because he's just saying, hey, Miguel, your life?
Right.
Miserable.
Basically on cooldown for their abilities. And see, Miguel's staying in lane now and is like not very much health, maybe 30% health, which is exactly what the Poppy wants, because Poppy's just waiting for the abilities to reset.
Mhm.
Yes, Poppy used their ult, but more importantly is the dive and then the E. You know, that's way more important.
Yep.
Or dive Q, I think it is.
Yeah,
Whatever
the
one it is.
EQ. In general, you'll W for the movement speed, but yeah, looks like Wei is rotating over with this Jarvan. There may be a play going on in the jungle. This Vayne with lifesteal. So the poke on the Vayne is less impactful, but I think Brecken just gets a kill mid on Wei.
No!
He doesn't, and he
Not
doesn't
enough
have
damage.
flash.
No, and didn't have enough mana for another Q.
Yeah,
Brecken is trying so hard. He's a little early, like you said, on a lot of things. But that looked good. I mean, I can't blame him for that.
Yep.
That looked good. That looked good.
and Hui's shield does last a long time, so I don't think he could have waited it out. Wukong should. No, he doesn't have an item complete, but Nathan did complete the call. He is using the trick on the W where you W with 3 times and then auto once to maximize damage. Brecken is here. We may be catching out this Wukong, but we gotta be careful.
No,
We
he
do
grabs.
Get the oh no!
No, he executes on the
The
minion.
clone.
Ouch. You hate to see that. Hate to see.
I want to go back because that must have been like the frame.
Yeah, so there he is.
Now,
Clone, yep.
it's literally like the same frame that he would have been hit. He pressed W and got the clone.
Crazy. Crazy good timing.
Yep.
You'd almost say that was lucky. But, you know, in the game of golf, they say you'd rather be lucky than good. This ain't golf, though. This ain't a golf match.
Wait, but we have the lower score, so that means we're winning, right?
Yes. Although, again, you know, ECU's down 2 kills. Gold advantage from Midway is less than a couple hundred, so this game is still very early on. There's nothing. Gosh, yeah, Brecken, ton of damage on that. Just
Yeah, like I said, Wukong gets the armor, not magic resist. Looks like we actually are going to... If I were ECU, I'd want to be walking in here.
It's like we're
Because
trying to set
I
something
wouldn't...
up.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to get feats of strength, but Brecken's just too far away top, and with Daisy going down... Unless if we act like we disengage, if Jesse... I know Jesse, wait, we have the eye turned to us, we can... Yes, we get
do
it.
steal it. Oh my
And
goodness.
we get the Jarvan as well.
Nice. Way to go.
And that was a shutdown, and it goes to Miguel. So
Good.
excellently played. We had the eye turned back towards us. So when Auto and Smite did 2.4 thousand damage. And so also Jesse had upgraded Smite while this while the J4 didn't, it looks like.
Good turn of events for ECU. Does put us up a little bit ahead by about 1,000 gold now. That was a very big play, so that was great work on that. Dragon spawns about a minute, so we'll keep an eye on that. Brecken is sitting top, really harassing this Wukong, making it very tough for Wukong to even exist in the lane right now. We have a complaint box. We definitely do. You can send it in. We only accept posts, though, so you get to mail it.
Yeah. So, getting that Herald actually gave us objective feat of strength, and so now it's whoever gets the next tower will win those feats of strength. Granted, I say you'll like always catch me saying it's bait, but it's also nice to have. ECU did not overforce, did not give unnecessary kills just so we could say, hey, look, we have 2% bonus stats on our boots. We win now. ECU played it right, and ooh, little known fact, you can teleport to pets. It used to hold the pets, but with new teleport, it doesn't. Wukong goes on in, but Jesse with the shields and heals, he's just not going down.
Nathan with
the
the
way goes
great-
down.
Jarvan is running south, trying to get through our jungle to get out of there. Dragons spawn now. Brecken's going back mid.
And it looks like we will get the first tower, securing ourselves feats.
Let's see. I'll be right back.
And first tower is still yet to go down, but looks like we're gonna claim it here mid. And Brecken's like, this is my cannon minion. Wait, I need to see how it ended. Did he end up getting the cannon? Brecken steals a cannon minion? Aw, man. Oh no! Jesse's invading, gets caught by the Jarvan. The ult, the Hui, the flash from the Poppy.
Poppy flash there? That's a bit much. That's a bit much. But that's okay. You know, actually, to be fair, I'd rather them waste that flash than...
Here's a funny thing.
Poppy has like all their kills
Yes.
and a lot of their gold.
Yes. Well, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing, but
Yep.
those kills really should be on an 80 carry or somebody who can, maybe even the Wukong.
Yeah, someone else who is there. Looks like Miguel's gonna get caught out. He has his flash still, which
does
he
use
uses.
it, which is good. He used it to disengage.
And
bottom.
Nathan, Brecken getting engaged on. Poppy may have actually saved him as he gets thrown back into the redemption. Wukong fails the dash over the wall. He's using his ult to disengage. Nathan picks up the kill, but he doesn't have a flash to follow for any more.
Okay, just trading back and forth, 1-on-1. They get a kill, we get a kill. It's all good.
Yep. And it doesn't look like any shutdowns were there. Allie's waiting, biding her time to see if she can get them to step up too far. She almost gets a kill onto that Vayne, because her E would have bursted the wave. Miguel would have followed up with the trap. And this way, he's just like, too many people. Throw everything.
It's true. No, he is. He's trying to throw every caution to the wind, toss everything up in the air, just hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. If I throw 30 things at you, surely one of them will hit.
Yeah. Brecken's trying to stay out of line of sight right now.
Yep. Which he is doing successfully.
So far, yes.
Oh,
He is
now he
He's
goes
seen.
up, but we don't see. Yeah, I don't think we saw the play enter the bush. Otherwise, I think Brecken would have turned on to him. The
Mhm.
Poppy, she's going on her own adventure.
Yeah, Poppy's playing solo key right now. Going mid. Poppy and J4 are both mid. That's kind of odd.
I think they're trying to get the mid tower to open up the map, but Miguel's rotating over, and that's enhanced
so is
by the
Ali.
power of the Cloud
And
Dragon.
here comes Jesse too. So 3 now mid to back that up. Nathan is still holding on to this Wukong very well. Wukong is just not able to get a good footing this round, which is excellent for us.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, again, Poppy has all the kills, right? So Poppy is taking a lot of that gold advantage, and somebody like Wukong needs gold. Like, they desperately need that right now. So it's just adding insult to injury with that when you start to get that. Got a potential gank sitting up your top.
Uh-oh, Brecken's taking the tower, but
Oof. Does end up
he
ulting.
doesn't have the flash. The ult is a bit... We didn't want to commit it, but we're glad we got the kill.
Yeah. After seeing him miss a few of those, it's good to see him get one
Yes.
work successfully in his favor.
Especially if it requires the ult to secure it. Now, Brecken does have to be careful. This Jarvan the 4th is coming, or J4. But Brecken's been good. Well, this J4 has actually been good
here
on the
he is.
EQs.
Here's the J4 setting up.
I think he's just barely out of vision,
Yeah, he was just barely out of vision.
Oh, they thought he was in this vision pocket recalling, but he
Ah.
wasn't.
Good.
And
Good,
it looks like we are swapping up lane assignments so we can have a TP for Dragon. Looks like we do have 3 people on our team with 2 items, which means we will have quite the advantage going into this fight as long as we don't get any picks. Wei is TPing early, so we gotta respect it. But since we have all 3 dragons, if we want to, we can say, hey, y'all, I know you want dragons, but just
J4
J4
just
went in
jumps right
super
in.
far.
Wow, yeah, he did, and then looks like Hui dumped everything on Brecken. Did
And
not end up
flashing
killing
back in,
him. Ooh,
but
Brecken
kills
does go down.
Brecken. We do get the J4. He tried flagging and dragging away, but the Poppy R gets interrupted. Nathan with the E flash.
Does end up getting
Way's
away.
dead,
Nathan is
and
on
Poppy's
a tear.
way too low. The
And that's-
problem with Poppy into our team is even though you have the kills in these team fights, you ain't walking through the meat grinder.
It's true, especially with Poppy. Poppy is like has a really good burst mechanic to dive in and do a ton of damage, but in a team fight, when you're all huddled around trying to do a bunch of damage and do AoE stuff, you really are not at a disadvantage. And not to mention, her ultimate knocks them way out of the way, but you got to be careful with that because we've seen Poppies hit somebody into into a worse situation.
Yeah, or hit them into a better situation for the person who she hit, which
Right,
is not what
right,
you want
right.
your ult to accomplish.
Yeah, it's
Ah,
just
yes, I'm ulting my enemy to save them.
pretty much. Unless you use
Get the
Poppy's ult.
flowers!
Yeah, no, really good job killing the Otacon bottom. But yeah,
Nathan with his Urgot just instantly takes flowers, basically.
yeah, Baron Nashor spawned at this point. Opponents are kind of getting back in the lanes. Brecken is bottom. Everybody else is resetting.
Yep. What we actually do gotta be careful for is this Elder Dragon. While it's very powerful if you can get it. Oh,
Hwei shield the-
no! The
Hwei shield
shield
just did it.
and Seraph's is what saves him.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta be careful with Elder. Sometimes I always I'm wanting to tell my team.
Nathan is just going. He's like, I don't care who you are. I am
He's like,
dead.
oh hello.
He's like, I am here for you. Oh, and then gets the execute, kill, nice. Nathan he's on another level at this point. He's got a 400 gold bounty for him, 5-1. We're setting up for Baron at 25 minutes, right after it spawns.
Yep.
Pretty
it now
intense.
spawns at 25 minutes.
Which is really intense that we're all
oh,
here.
Brecken. I like the idea, but we don't know where the Jarvan is, so
Does survive the ult from
it's
Hwei.
rough. He's gonna
Just take some damage.
Yeah.
We do get the Baron early, which, again, very early Baron. What's your play here? Spread out, flare out to each lane, and try to push him up?
It's a bit hard because of the playmaking potential we've seen from the Jarvan and Poppy. And so I'd probably do it's hard because not everyone's alive, but if everyone was alive, I'd send 3 people mid, and then I'd send 2 people bot, because bot is the next objective that's spawning. So the more priority, the more space you can get in that area, the easier it will be to fight that fight.
And this is why you're going to be an esport player and do great and be a professional at it, and I will not. I will not. Great analysis from Andy here. Very excited. Andy will be a freshman in the fall, right?
Yep.
So I'm excited. It's going to be great. Actually, will you come in as a sophomore?
I don't know, because Gen Ed-wise, I've only done 4 Gen Eds.
Oh, gotcha. Siege minion does so much damage.
Well, actually, I've done 5, because apparently Chickasaw 1 counted as a Gen Ed. Which
Interesting.
I didn't take for that. I took that because I want to know the Chickasaw language.
Yeah.
Because I'm Chickasaw, and I find the language cool.
Good. Well, there was that huge effort to get it put in Rosetta Stone, so to actually preserve the language permanently. So really cool stuff.
Yes.
A lot of really good things. Chickasaw Nation, I love the president of the university always explains Ada as a 3-legged stool, and the 3 important pieces of Ada, Oklahoma are the Chickasaw Nation for sure, East Central University, and then the city of Ada. Like those 3 elements in this town are what make it so great and what make it amazing. And a lot of what happens on campus would not exist without the nation. And so we have a great partnership with them, and a lot happens. Yeah, a lot of stuff happens between the nation and ECU.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Looks like it called the split push slightly wrong. Instead, we went for a 4-1, which is the other standard split push setup. Which also works, but if they decided to concede top, if they decided to concede bot, they likely could have got a kill or 2, a kill top.
So far, so good. Pretty big advantage to ECU. I mean, we're still at over a 6,000 gold advantage at this point. So 28 minutes in, kills are pretty even, but we have a really and again, the last game it was opposite. Midway had a ton of kills, but again, ECU was keeping the gold disparity pretty similar. Whereas this game, the kills are very similar, but so ECU has a massive gold lead. So if I'm Midway, I'm going back and going, how is ECU getting so much more gold? Even though we were outperforming them, they were still keeping up with us in gold. And then now that we're not getting outperformed, they're way ahead. Oh, traded the flash there, but really good.
Yeah.
Brecken to get out of that situation. And then
Poppy's like, don't hit my tower!
Yeah, again, that Poppy ult.
The J4, but he gets pulled back in by the plate.
Wow.
But, he's not going down.
That was a lot of damage. Tons of damage there. You saw the Lux ult in the midst of the group. Ton of damage to that whole team. Which, again, is something that the Midway team is missing is a big... Other than Hwei has a lot of AoE stuff. But they took him out, right? Hwei's dead. So what other AoE do they have after Hwei's
They have
dead?
Wukong, but The problem is Wukong also has to be in the Cataclysm when it starts for him to really be able to do anything.
Yeah, for it to be effective for sure.
Yeah. Daisy's just
Daisy!
like, I'm gonna 1v1 you.
Let's go.
And Daisy's going ham, and I think this game may go over to ECU
I think
right
this
here,
is,
right
yeah,
now.
this looks like the end of that. That was an ace by ECU.
We have
Ends up being
20 seconds
16-11.
on death timers, and that should be plenty of time at this point in the game to close it out.
That means that East Central University has won its first Nationals victory, which will push
Yep.
us on to round 2. GG's Midway
Oh!
University.
Nathan going for a fancy play and almost dying.
GG's. Great job, Tigers. Nice work. We will be back next week.
Yep.
Can you pull up that bracket? I don't know if it's probably updated at this point. Let's continue out of that. No, it's a best of 3. Yeah, best of 3.
Yeah, I'm
definitely
not
best of
sure
three.
if this. It looks like the matches have, so SVU will continue on.
Yep.
We will continue on, and it looks like Oklahoma City actually has the advantage, so we're probably going to be playing them.
Yeah.
If I had to guess right now.
So far. They're in game 2, so we won't know. But again, this is a live thing, guys. Like, we're in it. We are in the national bracket. Yeah, so we're doing great.
One thing I love about custom games, report Brecken, he has 2 flashes.
Unacceptable.
Dude, this is why the Poppy was always engaging on Miguel. He has 2 flashes as well.
Unbelievable. Great
Yeah.
game, though, guys. GG, so you're going to do a player interview or a Bodie? We're going to probably do an interview, so stick
yeah.
around for just a minute. And did
We'll
you want to
see.
do an interview? Yeah, grab somebody and do an interview. Cool. Well, I'm gonna step out. Great game. GG's. I'll see y'all when I see you.
Yep.
You hang around. That way you can be in the interview too.
It's me. Yes. Oh, it's that hand. It's me on the big screen. I'm here. Looks like we're trying to wrangle someone in to talk to him. And it looks like we are pulling in the Nathan Lewis.
Let's talk about some things.
Hello, Nathan.
What's up? Man, it's good to be back in this room. Sounds
Yep.
a little different.
Uh-huh.
I mean, post game, like outside looking in, I felt confident, like from the get go, that
Yeah.
Urgot was going to be a good pick because I'm comfortable. But
Yeah.
Connor was telling me that Urgot was going to be pretty hard, like into Wukong, because it's just a hard matchup. And
Yeah,
I
Wukong's
agree with
trading
him because
pattern is passive.
traditionally in any setting where Wukong is practiced, I lose because it's just a
Yes.
hard matchup for Urgot. But I personally didn't struggle because that guy was spreading his champ pool way too thin. Like he didn't get any of his main picks, so
Yeah.
his mechanics on
y'all
like
always ban the
Bear, on
Rise.
Alawi, on the Alawi is just a strong pick in general,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter if your mechanics are good. But
Mhm.
Wukong, you got to be positioning really, really well, and he just didn't have it. I got a little sneaky trades in with them early in. It was
Yeah.
good enough for me to get his sums down, and I would wait for him to waste his abilities because he, no matter what champ he was on, he would always try and trade with me like really, really close to
Yeah.
my tower, and I'm just really comfortable blue side on Urgot, so I just farmed the waves, got some gold up with Call,
Uh-huh.
and I slowly like out wave managed him, got
Yeah.
more XP, more gold, and soon enough I was a whole item up on him even after building Tiamat first. So that's 1,200 gold lost, and then I have a full item up, and he hasn't
Uh-huh.
finished his first one. So I didn't struggle at all because I out fundamentals him, and he couldn't keep up at the end. I was trading him in the side lane, and
Yeah.
after I started roaming outside of the map, when I came back to meet him,
Yeah.
he just couldn't compete because
Yeah.
I was just getting too much
You
from
got-
everybody.
Yep, you get kills elsewhere, expanding your gold lead, while he's just getting minion waves that are still there for you to collect
Yeah.
once you get the kills.
A lot of struggles that top laners have at this level that sets them apart from say like a challenger player,
Yeah.
is when they go to roam, say mid or bot or for an objective in the river, they forget to push the wave then go or
Yeah.
farm on the
or
way back.
Have
But
the wave bounce back.
he was
to
just
them.
losing so much farm, and by the end of the game, I'm not sure how much the farm lead was, but I was over him by quite a bit, and I was
Not CS.
pretty much 180
Yeah,
gold per
60
minute
CS,
above him.
which
and he
you
just
had 9 CS a minute, and you were still a part of the majority of your team's kills and fights.
Yeah, what I thought to myself in the beginning of the game, and I communicated this to the rest of the team. I'm not going to be able to fight him early. I'm not going to go any kind of like attack or sustain rune because
Yeah.
I can't do that. So at phase rush, literally the only way he can fight me and win is if he uses all of his dashes and his ult. But I still outran him because I rushed
Uh-huh.
boots. So he just wasn't able to lock down on me or catch me. So I would just run away, poke him down, and get extra poke when he ran back with all his abilities on cooldown. So
Yeah.
good
So I
round,
have a-
good game. I got side lane where I could. Everybody was rotating to try and play for him. I mean, he was diamond, so I would play for him too.
Yes.
But like I said, we just out fundamentals him on every side of the map.
Nice. Now, what would you say changed from game 2 to game 3 that allowed y'all to win? Was it like a change in draft? How
It-
y'all looked at the game while in
It
it?
was more of a change in draft. Like we were just picking what was open. We didn't really think much about the comp.
Yeah.
Outside looking in, it does look like a good comp, but I think the Aatrox kind of was not my best
Mhm.
pick there. I could have gone Tryndamere, had more side lane threat, but
Yeah.
Aatrox is just more comfort, and it's kind of a skill matchup in Ulawi, so it was just kind of a gamble 50-50, and Jesse was pathing for me to try and get me ahead, but I'm honestly fine with how it went, because we learned something from it. We learned
Yeah.
Ulawi shouldn't go through, Seraphine shouldn't go through, because those were the two in our fights that were causing us the most trouble.
And then if we look here,
Yeah,
y'all
it continued.
definitely learned real time and went,
it continued
Alawi's
into the
not
next
going
game.
through, Seraphine's not going through, and then we're going to go back to our more standard bans with the Gnar,
Yeah,
and then,
the Varus was a bit of a problem. Like, we couldn't really get to him, so he was
Mhm.
allowed to DPS for free. And I think we sort of solved that problem with Vayne, because Vayne is a bit shorter range, so
yes.
it
but-
all depended on the Poppy. And the Poppy was getting isolated from everybody else because she was trying to help the front line.
Uh-huh.
But then Vayne would be left by herself, and we would just DPS her because Caitlyn outranges.
And also the big problem Poppy had is into y'all's
Yeah.
team, Poppy cannot run into a Urgot, Ivern, Syndra, Caitlyn Lux.
Yeah, I would just hold my dash and wait
Uh-huh.
for her W to run out, and then I would do it. So I was never really inhibited by her in any way. One thing I did say in the second game was that historically, Jarvans have thrown the games when
Yeah.
they're locked in on the other enemy team. They just run in and die.
Yeah, like
And
there
that
were
was-
one
that
or
was how
two
it was happening.
fights- Yeah,
It's
there
like
were one or
a-
two fights where he'd be like 2 screens away.
Like those, he had the same problem we had the second game. He was fighting an entire screen away from his team. Like, we weren't fighting on the same screen the other game because we were just trying to play around the Alawi giant
Yeah.
AoE thing, and it wasn't working. So we got that out. We were playing on the same screen. Everything was going really well. Probably the only person who played off the screen was like me or Brecken, because we would get like a pick and then rotate back.
Hmm.
And
And this comp by them is definitely
Yeah.
more suitable to play a screen away. But then this one,
yeah,
he's the only person who
it's-
can follow up.
it's
so-
very in your face. Like, Brecken was doing a really good job of keeping him isolated so that they wouldn't have much burst.
Yes.
So Jarvan's problem was he was just going in too deep, trying to get a pick. It worked a couple times, but once we figured out, oh, we can just hold him in this choke point, Jesse's hanging out past a wall out of vision. He jumps on Miguel, Miguel flashes out, or like Caitlyn dashes out.
Yeah.
Everybody collapses on him. Jarvan like EQs away, and I shoot an R. Brecken shoots a stun.
Yeah.
He dies either way, but he usually suicide bombs his own team
Yes.
because he's trying to get away from the batting gauge that he started.
And I think in a way, Jarvan, because Poppy and Wukong would love to be in his ult.
Mm.
But the problem is Jarvan was always the one engaging, not waiting for the Wukong
Yeah,
or the Poppy.
honestly,
Because Wukong ult is the same size as a Jarvan ult.
yeah,
So you'd hit everyone. But
I think their problem was they had all the right ideas, they were just not in the right order. Because realistically, you have Jarvan going in, but that would usually come after Poppy getting the most fed ones out, or getting Jesse out, or getting
Yeah.
Reckon out. So either we have no peel, we have no damage. Either way, we have some sort of element of our team comp out. Jarvan ults the squishiest one, or the one that he feels has the most impact in that fight. And Wukong jumps in, either shreds the backline or shreds the person who gets trapped in there. They have at the very least, 1 or 2 picks in the fight, and then they just clean up from there. And we have somebody coming late to the fight from our team, and they have to play defense. So they just had they had all the right ingredients to make a good team fight. They just
put it in the wrong order.
They just had a very poor chef concocting whatever dish
Yep.
this was.
You had the dish, you started making it, you put it in the oven, you take it out, you add the eggs, and you eat it. It doesn't taste good.
It's like the chef gave them all the right ingredients, but he turned away while the pot was boiling, and it boiled over, and it didn't work out in their favor. But I'm glad it didn't work out in their favor, because
Yep.
ECU progressing on to, is it semifinals now?
Yep,
'Cause-
semifinals and the nationals. First
Yeah.
national appearance, and we're on to the semis.
Hey, I'm happy with it, and the fact that we placed like second in our conference is pretty good. I'm not sure how we placed so high even though we lost, but CSUDH placed like seventh. I think it's just
'cause we were
overall season.
undefeated.
Yeah,
And
we have.
also, I think they were saying some points from last semester carried over. And since we went undefeated 2 semesters in a row to the finals.
Yeah, there's just a lot to learn in nationals, and I'm trying to pick it up as I go. I'm definitely gonna be doing some VOD reviewing if I can, if they have it up on their channels. Like CSUDH, I know what went wrong there. I want to learn how to run it back in all the right ways.
And I was glad to see the Narbams, just to make sure that doesn't happen.
It wasn't. Nar was never a problem for me. I want to make that much clear. He was just a problem for the team.
Yes.
He was manageable for me at every stage of the game.
But unfortunately, Nar is skewed towards team fights and more competitive settings.
Earlier in the season, I did just fine against him.
Yeah.
I think it was just over time their ADC got more warmed up, and they never had the opportunity to do that in the regular season as opposed to finals.
Yes.
So I'm
5 games.
I'm hoping that somebody shuts them down like earlier on in nationals, because I don't want that ADC to get warmed up again.
All right.
I will be proposing a Caitlyn ban.
Yep. Well, thanks for the interview.
Yes, sir.
Y'all played well, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next week.
Good to be on this stream again.
Yep. Bye. I am going to make sure we don't need to do anything else before ending the stream, so I will be right back. That's us. We won.